there might be a few nervous players out there, and perhaps it might be better to kick against it, but we'll see as the game progresses. There's the rucks gathering in there. I'd say Neil Balme, and this is what somebody said the other night, that Neil Balme will open up on the ball to give that knee a quick warm-up before he goes to centre half forward. And we'll see who's at centre half forward at the moment, John.
Nobody, it looks like. Well, Peter Featherby.
Peter Featherby. Well, that's just a fill-in, I would say, for a few moments.
I would think so. I would hope so, anyway.
In the ruck is a big Don Scott, number 2.
Bob Phillips umpiring.
Bob Phillips umpiring, you're bouncing the ball. One of the leading umpires in Western Australia. Michael Tucker's 19 for Victoria. And Western Australia, and Neil Balme is in there. Over the back of the pack it goes. Chance for Bruce Monteath. Out to the far flank. A scramble in the centre of the ground, and Ian Robertson will bounce it down in the opening seconds of this game. It's going to be some very tight play, I feel, in these opening minutes, so that the players won't break away. They've got to stop Victoria going away. Scramble at centre half back for WA, and Ian Robertson having a hard job at the moment. Once again, pulls the ball up. Neil Balme there opposed to Thompson. There's Don Scott flying above the back of the pack, but he's put his hand on the shoulder of the West Australian, and Graham Moss will take his kick at half back. Graham Moss, the Western Australian skipper, a long kick towards the centre.
Oh, must be a kick.
Must be a kick, yes, certainly a kick to Western Australia there, right in the centre of the ground it is. And a good kick by Balme, right down to half forward, looking for Sidebottom. Alexander's there. And the kick this time going to Gary Dempsey, I think it is, for Victoria. No, Bruce Dool. Bruce Dool, the flying doormat as he's called in Victoria, about to take his kick in that right full-back pocket.
Bruce Dool, very tough competitor from the Carlton side. Right full-back pocket, no score on the board. Dool's kick up towards right centre wing. Players setting themselves, thumped away by Flower, and the throw-in to take place once more. Well, in the opening couple of minutes of play, nothing happened as yet. No score on the board. Moss in there. Scott does it well. It's taken by Monteith. Kick is not a good one. A chance for WA through Max Richardson up towards full forward. It's rolling towards goals. There's the first score to WA. A goal.
And the crowd go wild.
The crowd go wild, as John McIntosh said. First score on the board, but not a bad start, Mac.
No, it certainly is a good start for Western Australia, and of course Max Richardson on that occasion being, back on his home state, relishing the solid ground on that occasion. Weighted back, the ball bounced over his Victorian opponent's head, gathered in possession and put through a long screw kick which bounced through, and that certainly is a good goal at the 3-minute mark of this first quarter. Been pretty tight up until now, but first blood to Western Australia.
Ian Robertson bouncing the ball. The breeze in favour of WA at the moment. A sou'wester blowing towards the Perth end of the ground. Cable in there trying to get it away, and he's been paid the kick. Barry Cable running towards the centre. He's in trouble. Gets it out to Monteath. Michael Tuck's with him. Tuck's tackled. Magro comes in, gives it to Featherby. Featherby a short pass looking for Sidebottom, but a poor kick by Featherby and out of bounds in that left full forward pocket. Well, Featherby should have gone for the long kick then. Throw-in about to take place. Alexander in ruck opposed to Dempsey. Dempsey doing all the ruck work in the back pocket. Alexander in the forward pocket. Alexander in front, and once more the ball's gone out of play. About 30 metres around from the WA goals.
Western Australia would be keen to get it out of that pocket, Bob.
Yes, it's a defensive flank at the moment, and there's front position going to Alexander. Then Curvis, 20 metres out from goal. Sidebottom trying to pick it up. Here's the skipper, Francis Burke. He takes it over the line.
Well, I hope that it's not going to happen, Bob, but I feel that perhaps Garry Sidebottom's lack of fitness could be telling down there in that full forward area. I hope that he's going to be fit enough to see the game out. Good tap. Chance once again for Cable. Featherby as well. Can he do anything with the ball? Must be paid a kick. And will be. And Lou Richards, Western Australia haven't started too badly.
Well, they got to a great starter, but there's a long way to go, and you can't get too excited about this. There's a goal. Oh, he missed that badly, but just the same, it's a long way to go, and I never get myself too rattled about a game until it gets going a long, long time.
I had to think of something to say to bring you into the conversation,
that's
mate.
Right. So. That's right, but you've got the breeze, and that's going to help a bit too, I should imagine.
So Western Australia 1-1.
They look good, and they're very keen, and I think Moss emphasised his keenness when he said, let's go, fellas, let's take them now. That's a pretty good attitude to take.
Beautiful kicking out towards half-back line. Up they go, no mark. Chance for Francis Burke, straight through he goes. Scrambly kick up towards right centre wing. Big Gary Dempsey is there, posed by Worthington. the throw-in to take place midway between right centre wing and right half forward flank for the Victorian side. Waiting on the throw-in. Ruckman gathering. Moss in front. Thompson behind. Moss's tap, but it's straight down the throat of Rawlings. Up towards half forward. Western Australia are leaving well through Curtis. Out towards left centre wing. Up they go. Oh, nearly a good mark taken there by Victoria's Scott. WA moving the ball forward. Good kick from Morley up towards full forward. Victoria reading it very well. Coming out towards right centre wing. Chance there for Balme. He couldn't mark. Through comes Moss. Tapping to Magro. Magro's sidestep. Big kick down towards full forward. A one-out duel between Barker and Sidebottom.
Well kicked Stan Magro, and Sidebottom about 25 metres out, the white line right beside him. Garry Sidebottom coming in now to have this shot.
Number 18, Garry Sidebottom. Been out with injury for most of the season, but in the 2 or 3 games that he played for Swan Districts late in the year was able to kick something like 6 and 5 goals in those games. There goes, kick on the way. Wait on that one. 1 point only. And John McIntosh, Western Australia can ill afford to miss shots early in the game.
No, they can't afford to miss those shots, but by the same token, that was a very difficult angle, and I do feel that Western Australia would be better served endeavouring to get the ball over onto the attacking side, and the 2 points that have been scored deep in that left full forward pocket. Very, very difficult to get goals from there.
Well, the boundary umpire certainly thought it was a goal. Here's Trevor Barker now, the St Kilda and Victorian fullback. 21 yesterday, this fellow. Kicks it out towards Thompson, who can't mark it. Taken by Richardson. Screws it back towards Magro. In the way is Rawlings, and Rawlings will take the kick. Quickly plays on. Barry Rawlings out to skipper. Francis Burke. Here's a kick from Burke up towards a half-forward flank. Ian Miller, and he's paid the mark. Quickly gives it out to Joe McKay. McKay towards the half-forward line. Magro there, battling with Nan Curvis. Over the back it goes to Rawlings. He's smothered and holding the ball. Well, good tackle there by Max Richardson. And Max Richardson, the Collingwood skipper, to take his kick on the left half-forward position. Kicked the first goal, he centres it, and that's the correct way it goes. Sidebottom's there with Alexander. Good punch away. Bruce Dool can't pick it up. Here's a chance for Young. Out it goes to the flank. Umpire Phillips has pulled it up. And the kick is going the way of Gary Dempsey. He quickly plays on. Out to Barker. Trevor Barker's kicks a long one up towards the centre line. Front is Campbell. But from behind there, it's been paid to John Byrne. John Byrne to take his kick on the outer flank.
Byrne going out wide onto the other side of the ground. The bounce is not going to go too well for Victoria's Casson, who's well and truly dropped with a big hip and shoulder. Gee, what a bump that was. McKay with the ball up towards full forward. A chance there for Richardson. Is he being held but not in possession? He is. And Max Richardson already making his presence felt on that half-forward flank. Kicked the first goal of the match. A chance now to put his second and WA's second on the board. Skipper of Collingwood coming in deliberately. Kick on the way. Crowd erupt. Second goal on the board. And he's a very good player, Lou, particularly on that half-forward line.
Well, he's been a great player at Collingwood, as you know, but I just feel that the attitude of Western Australia at the moment is far more, a lot more endeavour about them than the Victorian side. But I think the Victorian side is trying to get themselves a bit balanced. They're a little bit rattled at the moment, and I think that we just have to wait and see. They've hardly had the ball on their forward line at all since the start of the game. Once or twice they've had it, haven't they, Bob?
Yes, comments from Lou Richards there. They certainly have, Lou. A very interesting move that Featherby is playing at centre half forward at the centre bounces, and Balme is in the centre. There's a kick coming away now. Moss gives it over to Morley. Morley smothered on the outer flank. Good tackle there by the Victorians. And the umpire will ball it up. No, he's let the play go. Now he's pulled it up. And a bounce down about the right half-forward position for the Western Australian side on the scoreboard flank. Moss is in there. 3 Western Australians. Oh, holding the ball. Looked like a high tackle. But the kick is going to Len Thompson.
Well, that's his vice-captain too, you know, at the same side.
Yes, teammates last week. Opposition this week. Out it goes to the flank. Here's Curtis showing a ton of pace. Over he goes to Tony Morley. Tony Morley, right half forward. Down towards Monteath. Monteath takes the mark. Oh, shocking pass by Monteath. In it comes towards Magro. Magro, 30 metres out. Under the bench. Third goal of Western Australia. And John, they're teaming pretty well on the the forward line at the moment.
Yes, they're showing a lot of tenacity. They're moving the ball well, and they're shepherding when the situation calls for it. Certainly is good to see, and the crowd are ecstatic at the present time with a very quick 3 goals at the 9-minute mark of the first quarter. WA 3 goals 2, Victoria yet to score, and as Lou Richards mentioned, the ball has not passed over the Victorian half-forward line to this point of time.
John, there's a good chance that Victoria may not score in this match, quite seriously.
Oh, now come on, Lou. It'd be nice to think so, but I doubt if that's going to happen.
Here they go now.
Off they go. Ball taken for them by Casson. He was felled a few moments ago, and it just shows you how resilient these fellows up. He's off and going. A chance there for Flower. Good kick from Flower up towards full forward. Chance for Glendinning. Will he be paid a mark? No, of course not. The pay on the umpire has called. It looks like a push in the back to Glendinning when he went to tackle the ball. And Rolling's getting a little bit mixed up there with Western Australia's Stephen Curtis. And Ross Glendinning to take the ball. Out to Barry Cable, a hand pass. Up goes the blonde bombshell. Look at that hand pass. Straight to Campbell. Campbell in trouble. He gets it out further afield to Reid. Reid back to Cable is good football. Cable to Magro. Magro can't mark. Chance there for Miller. Miller to Balme. Back to Miller it goes. Miller up towards half forward. Sidebottom. No chance for him. Young is there. And a vigorous tackle put on Francis Burke by Monteath. And whoa, what a game of football we're seeing here at Subiaco Oval this afternoon. That's Francis Burke to take the kick out of defence.
How long can they keep the pace up? Over the back of the pack was Flower, but he can't mark it. A throw in right here in front of the member stand. Balme is still on the ball, apparently, warming up that bad knee that he's supposed to have. And with him now is Lanky Len. Also there is Alexander. Richardson gets a kick down towards the half-forward line. Burke's there. With him is Monteath. And the ball is stumped out of play.
Because they're also teammates, Bob, aren't they?
Yes, a lot of teammates here that are playing against each other. Just shows the calibre of these players that when they can play against each other the next week, John. There's the throw-in. Half-forward line. Out it goes to Casson. John Byrne. Up to the centre of the ground. Campbell. Campbell showing pace. Over goes Campbell. And Basil Campbell, playing his first interstate game, will take his kick in the centre of the ground.
May have helped himself a bit there too, Bob, I feel, but nevertheless he got it.
There's tremendous spirit shown in this game, isn't there, by both sides, and particularly the West Australian side. There's nothing about that.
Yes, they had a motivation film on Thursday night, Lou, and perhaps this has helped them. There's a kick from Campbell, a long 60-metre kick towards full forward. Here's a chance for Monteath under the boot. What's he done? 1 point.
Oh.
Well,
hit the post.
And hit the post apparently. Monteath only about 15 metres out. A great opportunity to score. There's Trevor Barker, the fullback, will kick into play.
Well, Lou, I reckon this is about the best 12 or 13 minutes of football we've seen at Subiaco Oval for a long while.
Well, because the West Australians are making the game at the moment. The Victorians look very rattled and playing flat-footed too. That's a problem with them, not getting their run-on game going.
Beautiful thump by Thompson, straight to Flower. Magnificent hand pass from Heath further afield. Victoria on the way up towards their half-forward line. A chance there for Scott. He gets mixed up a little bit with Worthington there, number 27 for Western Australia. Worthington ended up in the fence, but the throw to take place just forward of Victoria's right centre wing. Let's see who'll get the kick out of that.
Both in that one, John.
I thought they were both in it too. There shouldn't have been a kick there, but it's gone Western Australia's way. And it'll be Ron Alexander to take it. Good one too, up towards half forward. Burke in front, does it well. Dool a chance, but out to John Byrne is good football. Byrne plenty of room in front of him to run. A little bit of a box on behind the play there between Burke and Western Australia's George Young. The ball's on the other side of the ground. Rawlings has it. Well tackled. Sunk. Very scrambly on the other side of the ground there. What's going to happen?
Baller.
And the umpire has decided, in his wisdom, to bounce it down on Western Australia's right centre wing with the score WA 2-3-21. And surprisingly, Victoria yet to score.
There's the WA going to attack once more. A long kick towards the flank, and it's out of bounds on that right half-forward flank. We're at the 14-minute mark in the first quarter. WA 3-3-21, Victoria yet to score. Thrown on the outer flank, Thompson still on the ball, in comes Moss, 25 and 18 opposed. Thompson gets a hit, it's a good one. Chance for Featherby. Featherby's kick towards full forward. Plenty of players up, over the back is Cable. Cable under the boot. Fourth goal to Western Australia, going very, very well in this first quarter at Subiaco Oval. John McIntosh.
Yes, a brilliant bit of play there by Cable. You saw it in your screen, he waited behind the pack. Everyone went up from the Victorian side, as did two Western Australians. 5 in the air, Cable waited down, Admittedly, the Vicks were quick to recover, but Campbell, with the sure board handler that he is, gathered in that ball, put it on the boot in one motion, straight through. 4-3 WA, and this huge crowd being treated here to a brilliant brand of football by the West Australian side.
Bounce down, Scott, but it's Richardson putting a lot of pressure on the Western Australian side. Up towards half forward, Campbell a chance, but he wisely stood back and let the big arms of Bruce Monteath, it looks like, go skyward, and Bruce Monteath now from about 35 to 40 metres out, directly in front. Breeze blowing from right to left across his kicking boot. We'll need to punch this one out a little to the right to allow for it. It's coming in. Drop punt on the way, goal umpire behind it. Crowd erupts, straight through the centre again. And Western Australia with 5 goals, 3 on the board. Lou at the 16-minute mark aren't doing a bad job.
They're doing a great job, and things are looking pretty sick for the Victorian side. And there's no coordination at all, because I think they're a little bit rattled, and I don't know what they can do at the moment. I think they'll have to settle down, which they will. They've got the breeze. Sure. Is that breeze very strong or not? No, I wouldn't know much about it.
It's sort of coming across the ground, Lou, so it's
probably... Actually, he's not favouring the West Australians. That's right.
You must be on the outer side to score, Lou, and that John Mack, that's still working with Balme on the ball at the moment.
It certainly is. Western Australia having a lot of success getting the ball away from the bounce downs.
Here's Balme on the ball there, but Richardson coming in. The tap goes to Reid in the centre of the ground. Over to Miller. Ian Miller, left side wing, gets his kick towards a half-forward line. Up towards full forward. Campbell's there opposed to 2 Victorians. Well done, Trevor Barker. Yeah. Oh, he was coming through. He got flattened, as you saw. And Trevor Barker, the young fullback, to take his kick.
He's a magnificent player, this fella's only about 5'10" and a beautiful mark.
He lacks a little in inches, but he makes up for it in tenacity. And a good mark to Alan Reid, also playing his first game of interstate football. There's the lead into the centre of the ground, but right in the arms of Bruce Dool. A sure pair of hands, this fellow. Up it goes to Michael Tuck. John Casson. Peter Knight's in the centre. Victoria going forward for the first time. Up it goes towards centre half forward. Well done, Ross Glendinning. Out it come to Basil Campbell. Good cooperation there from all players. It goes out towards the flank to Moss. And Moss takes a mark, quickly plays on. Over towards Featherby. Featherby on the boot into no man's land. Oh, Campbell's there. Outnumbered. Play on to the umpire. Dill gives it out. Out it comes towards the flank. Schimmelbusch is down there. Campbell battling. Victoria takes the kick.
Well, a great solo effort from Barry Campbell, and it's going to be Nankervis. Ian Nankervis to take the kick. Decides to go further afield for a hand pass. Little pop one into the centre. He's going to go the way of Casson. And Casson, is he off? Yes, he is. No, he's not. Umpire Robinson has decided he is not off, and a 15-metre penalty has been imposed, Lou.
He tried to be off.
Yeah. The umpire said he wasn't. Right into the centre of the ground is Casson. Beautiful kick too, up towards half forward. A chance there for WA. Big arms go skyward of Kevin Worthington, and WA off again. Hand pass out to Glendinning, up towards right centre wing. Reid a chance. Through comes Scott, being held, and will take the kick on right centre wing. Don Scott. Not a particularly good kick from him. Worthington a chance. He gets tangled up there with Stephen Ick, and the ball to be thrown in on Victoria's half-forward line. Score on the board at the moment. 17 minutes gone. WA 5-3-33. Victoria yet to score. And Lou, what are the Vics going to do to get back into this game?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think about something to do at the moment. I'm completely rattled myself.
Well, Barassi would be too. It's the ball on the ground there.
Kick.
And the kick going to Barry Rollins, the Victorian rover.
Ooh,
He's tackled as he kicks it. Play on, says the umpire. Up it goes to half forward. Well thumped away by the backs. They've been told to thump it away, and that's the way it goes. A throw in right half forward flank for Victoria. In come the big fellows. Alexander versus Thompson. Thompson gets the spot, but Alexander gets the thump. Schimmelbusch trying to pick it up. Out it comes towards the flank. Robert Flower played the kick. Michael Tuck getting mixed up there. And Robert Flower, the Melbourne wingman, a great player, this fellow. Kicks a long kick towards the half-forward line. The big fellows are up. Thompson paid. He's not paid. Play on, says the umpire. Magro tries to bring it out. He's swamped. And umpire Robinson will bounce it down on the half-forward flank for Victoria.
Lou, I'll tell you what, the way the former Victorian teammates are playing against each other, you'd think that the WA fellas had never played in Victoria,
That's
wouldn't
right,
you?
but the Victorians are making foolish mistakes. They're fumbling the ball, and of course they're more confident than the Westerners. That's beautiful play by Campbell over to Max Richardson. That is magnificent football by the Collingwood skipper.
Superb football up towards half forward, and Peter Knight's launching himself in the air. He's able to pull that one in. Peter Knight's Hawthorn player.
Shocking kick.
Not a particularly good kick, but it's going to have the desired effect as Flower is there. Reid a little behind on that occasion, and Flower on right centre wing to put the big V into attack. Robert Flower, good kick up towards half forward. Up they go. Great mark taken there by Kevin Worthington, and boy, he's an improved player since he went to Victoria. Monteath lost a boot. Holding the ball is a decision against John Byrne. Didn't like it, and Bruce Monteath, there you can see, bootless, ready to take his kick. I wonder what he'll do, because that's his kicking foot too.
Probably kick it better than he did before.
Let's see. 15-metre penalty being imposed, so that'll get him a little bit closer. Off he goes. Somebody wouldn't want to tread on his toe. It looked a typically barefoot kick, which went straight into the arms of Ian Nankervis. He going straight out to the other side of the ground. Or Morley a chance. You don't get two chances in this game, son. Ball on the ground, looks like Young being interfered with. George Young to take his kick, which he does very quickly. Back to Morley, and that's a better effort as far as the mark is concerned. Tony Morley with Western Australia, kicking with the breeze now that has swung round towards the Princess Margaret Hospital end of the ground. 5-3 on the board, coming in from about 35 metres out, a fairly acute angle. Kick on the way, going across the face. And there you saw 1 point only. Looks like the first change of reserve.
Jim Sewell.
Jim Sewell coming on, Lou, and looks like WA the first to make use of that interchangeable reserve rule.
Well, they look to me as though they're terribly rattled at the moment, Victoria. They're not getting themselves balanced at all. There's C. Henry battling very hard for the ball. That was a free kick.
He got it too. He got it. John Henry with the ball.
He's certainly out of his position. He's a half-forward flanker.
What's he doing down there then?
Chasing kicks, I'd say.
That's
It's Francis
the size
Burke.
of Rattlers, isn't it?
Francis Burke takes it on the centre wing, kicks it up towards a half-forward line for Victoria. Good mark there to Kevin Worthington. Well, the WA backs playing in front. That's where they're getting their kicks from. Towards the centre. That's not a good kick. Towards the flank. Over goes Henry, and John Henry centre wing to take another kick. Well, John Henry, as Lou said, has come right down for his kicks. Puts it up towards the wing. Chance now for Rowlings, tackled by Cable. Barry Rowlings still with the ball. Hell without it, says the umpire. Some pretty tough football out there as Barry Rowlings, the Victorian rover, taking his kick right centre wing. Here's a Hawthorn player now. Short kick in towards the centre. Basil Campbell underneath it. Can't mark it. Peter Knights, tackled by Joe McKay. Play on, says the umpire. In the centre of the ground, Curtis. Over to Morley, who's got football. Morley gets his kick, but they're kicking wildly, WA now. Oh, thumped away by Dempsey, could have marked it. Into the forward pocket it goes, and Ian Nankervis will take his kick, hell without the ball.
Well, I noticed that Bruce Monteath is still bootless. Nankervis to take his kick, and the mark taken down on the half-back line by Stephen Ick.
Well, he's a centre half forward, John. He's come right down too.
Goodness me, they're all over the place. Moss, chance, can't mark. Basil Campbell, good football, out to Monteath, to Cable. Cable up towards half forward, a chance for Sidebottom, can't mark. Stephen Ick again. Hand pass out further afield to Ian Nankervis. Nankervis's kick in front, chance for Moss from behind. George Young is in there, trying to battle his way through. In they go, Peter Featherby, WA with a break now through Cable. Good kick from Barry Cable right up to the edge of the square. Dempsey. Don't think he held that one, Lou. What do you reckon?
Well, he got paid the mark. That's all that counts.
Yeah.
The umpire's the chap in charge of the game, isn't he?
Yeah, fair comment. Fair comment. Dempsey with a kick. Up they go. Oh, great mark. Great mark taken down there at half-back by Stephen Ick. Quick hand pass off to Ian Nankervis. And Victoria, although they're kicking not looking particularly good, are nevertheless settling down a little. The lead is on further afield to Monteath if they want it. That's the way it goes, and Monteath, still bootless, has the ball on right half forward.
He's about 70 metres out from goals now. He's got a 15-metre penalty, which brings him 15 metres closer. 55 metres with the breeze behind him. A good kick, this fellow. Let's see what he can do with it.
Wish he had his boot on though, Bob. It'd help.
We're at the 24-minute mark now. Without a boot, a long high kick. It's high. It's not wide. It is wide. And 1 point only to Bruce Monteath. Well, with 24-minute mark in the first quarter, 5 goals, 5 WA. Victoria yet to score. And certainly a great quarter for the locals at the moment, but still a long way to go, as Lou said. There's the loose men coming out. A good kick out there finds Rowlings. Rowlings over to Chimel. He's come well down for his kicks too. Schimmelbusch, Wayne Schimmelbusch, plenty of pace, kicks it up towards the wing. Joe McKay high in the air, pushed from behind. And Joe McKay, is he going to take the kick? A 15-metre penalty. Ian Robinson, where are you pointing? Ian Miller has got to take the kick.
Bill Valli's on, so that's 2 WA reserves on already, Bob.
Ian Miller over the centre line. Long kick from Miller towards Campbell. And Campbell takes the mark. Well, great play there by the WA players, looking for that black and gold Guernsey. Campbell about 50 metres out.
Plenty of leads, Bob.
Yes, but they're mostly covered now, John. I think he'll go for the long kick. Sidebottom's pulled himself out from full forward. What's he going to do with it? He's gone for that long kick towards full forward, floating in and thumped out of bounds by the Victorian defence.
Well, desperate defence by Victoria. We're now to the time on period, and WA are 5-5-35, and Victoria yet to score. And I'm sure it's a long time since the Victorian side hasn't scored in the first quarter.
I can't remember a game when they haven't scored in an interstate match at all, quite seriously.
Well, chance for Barry Cable on the bottom of the pack there. Bruce Dool, mean looking as ever on top of him. And umpire Bob Phillips will bounce the ball down about 20 metres out from WA's goal. Up they go. Great thump further afield, but it's going to be Barker. Good football. Up towards Neil Balme. He can't mark. George Young is in there. What can he do with the ball? Nothing. Stevenik is in there also. There's no beg your pardons there at the moment. Magro out to Cable. Look at the hand pass from Cable to Max Richardson. That's the sort of play that opens the game up. Beautiful kick from Richardson. Is offline.
Oh, free kick.
And it'll be the big arms of Gary Dempsey, which had reached skyward, but it wasn't necessary because Dempsey's been awarded the kick, and that's bad play by WA because there was nobody on his mark. Not a particularly good kick into play, and a strong mark by Bruce Monteath, still bootless.
Oh.
That was a shocking kick out towards Cable. Chance there for Balme. Oh, good football, Neil Balme. Cable to Miller. Miller a quick kick down towards half forward, George Young. Flower is there though, nobody to back him up. Now there is. Out to Dool it eventually comes. Dool's kick up towards right centre wing, but interference to Ian Miller by John Henry.
Their front position all day, John, and that's where WA are getting their kicks from.
Miller was definitely in front and was awarded the kick that he should have got. Ian Miller, former Sandover medalist, kicking it in towards half forward. A chance there for number 6, who is Ron Alexander, former East Perth player. And Alexander, who's been rucking quite strongly today, has marked about 40 to 45 metres out from goal. Well, the angle certainly wouldn't worry him. He can see plenty of goals there. What about the distance? Doesn't look like the distance is going to be a great deal of problem either. There goes the kick, straight through. 6th goal on the board for Western Australia. And John McIntosh, not a bad first quarter by the WA side.
One of the best individual quarters of football I've seen by a Western Australian side, and as Lou Richards mentioned, I can't remember a Victorian side ever going through any quarter without scoring, and this certainly has brought the crowd to their feet, or brought them, they're very ecstatic about it. It's a perfect performance by the Western Australian side. The Vics have yet to get the ball into their full forward line. Western Australian players playing well on the half back line, and in fact holding control in most parts of the ground.
Well, there's an infringement in the centre. Up it goes towards the flank. WA coming out again, out towards the flank. Chance for Alan Reid, he's overrun the ball. Robert Flower can't, and a free kick going to Robert Flower.
I think it emphasised the fact that the Victoria a little bit rattled. They've even got Peter Knights down there on the forward line, who's a permanent defender with Hawthorn.
Up towards and great mark, Ross Glendinning. Last line of defence. Great player, this fellow.
You can understand why North Melbourne want him, Bob.
There's his long kick, it's not a good one. Out towards the flank, Tony Morley playing a great game out there. He's got 2 Victorians there with him. Gets it over towards the flank, it's very close to the line out there, and finally it's out of play. Left half forward flank for Victoria. We're at the 29-minute mark in the first quarter. Thompson versus Moss. Thompson gets a tap over the back of the pack, but it's all black and gold Guernseys. Joe McKay. Oh, an underground pass towards the centre. Bruce Monteath, Alan Reid. The hand pass gone astray. Through comes Cable. Well picked up by Cable. Well done. Great pass to Bill Valli, who's just come on the ground. There's one of the 3 reserves, and Bill Valli at centre half forward, 55 metres out with the breeze. He's not a very long kick, this fellow. Time's running out. Let's see what he can do with it. Bill Valli. Rover coming in, gives it plenty of air. It's going towards full forward. And the free kick once more, going the way of Gary Dempsey.
Silly play by Garry Sidebottom then, Bobby. Clearly just bumped Dempsey straight in the middle of the back, and I would hate to see West Australian attacks falling foul because of silly infringement up in their full forward area. Well, there goes the ball, taken very quickly for Victoria by Wood. Wood's kick out towards the left half-back flank as the siren has gone to end the first quarter of play here at Subiaco Oval this afternoon. And believe it or not, Western Australia 6-5-41, Victoria yet to score. And Lou Richards, as we said a moment ago, a long while since the Victorian side has failed to score in an opening quarter of a game.
Well, I can't recall that ever happening before, and I just think that full marks must go to the West Australian side, because I think Bob mentioned during his commentary that your side is playing in front, they're attacking the ball all the time. The Victorian side seemed to me as if they're terribly uncertain about what they have to do, and of course there was a dead set indication of how rattled they are. They had to put Knights down there on the forward line. They brought Ick down to the back line, who's a definite negative player when he gets in defence, and they're trying to stop this run on of Western Australia. You're getting plenty of drive from the rucks. I'd say that Balme and Moss are dominating the rucks, and also Cable is doing a magnificent job creating many opportunities. There's a bit of pressure applied. He may be a very handy player, but there's Greg Wells on the ground there for Victoria.
Yes, well, he's a pacey player, Lou, as we know.
Well, he's a little bit overweight too, but that shouldn't make any difference, really.
He's a skipper of Melbourne and a very good player. And we can't find many very good players for Victoria
well,
at the
couldn't
moment.
pick one out, could you, really?
Rollings tried hard, I think, and a few other triers, but not brilliant. You've got about 7 or 8 for WA at present, but still, let's see what happens this quarter. The WA backs are going to be under pressure. I don't know whether they've swung a man. I think they might have, John Mack. Ron Alexander is a spare man in defence down there at the moment, number 6.
Yes, Bob.
Why go on the defensive when you're attacking so well, Bob? I can't understand that move, quite frankly.
We'll see how it goes as we bounce the ball for the start of the second quarter. 6-5-41 WA. Victoria yet to score, and Moss trying to take them forward once more. In the centre of the ground, Magro having trouble picking it up.
Oh, he's tough, isn't he?
And the umpire will bounce the ball. Well, there's going to be some sore and sorry players before this game's finished. Of course, they've got about 6 months to get over it before the next game. There's Moss in front trying to get the tap. This centre of the ground, and the kick going the way of once more Western Australia's Alan Reid, or is it Cable? No, Alan Reid to take it. Puts it out towards the far flank. Looking for Richardson. Well marked, Max Richardson. Playing a good game, this fellow.
He's playing a very intelligent game, Bob, isn't he?
Yes, he's got the left half forward flank. He's got the shelter of the stand. You can score goals from here. Max Richardson, a long kick in towards full forward, looking for Sidebottom. From the back, it's Dempsey again. The long arms of those Victorians there in the back line, and Sidebottom not having it all his own way at the moment as the kick comes towards centre half back for Victoria. Scott from the back, picked up by Magro. To Cable. Under the half forward flank, it's Tuck. And holding the ball, and the kick going to Barry Cable.
Great tackle from Barry Cable. Whether you agree with it or not, he's got the ball, and undoubtedly the darling of the crowd, and they're very thrilled to see Cable playing once more in a Western Australian Guernsey. There's a good lead to Tony Morley too, down on that right half forward flank. Morley, number 7, you can see him in your screen there, a little undecided what to do with the ball. Decides to go in short. Gee, telegraphed that one and allowed easily Tuck to come in and break it up. And Tuck's kick is a beauty right into the centre of the ground. Chance there for Alexander, he couldn't mark. Kevin Worthington is there. Uses his left boot. And Western Australia have got players running everywhere. Graham Moss could give it to Miller if he wanted to, but didn't. Decided to kick it up towards full forward, but Ian Nankervis was in the road for Victoria. Well, they're still doing all the attacking. John Byrne out there, number 12, on the right half back flank. There he is in your screen now. Byrne's kick, a high one, almost up towards half forward. Up they go. McKay can't mark. A chance for Victoria. They're fumbling the ball badly. Magro going in with desperation written all over his face. And umpire Bob Phillips will bounce it down almost in the centre of the ground. Moss again. On the top is Balme. Beautiful hand pass to Cable. Good kick from Barry Cable right up towards half forward. Dempsey up, can't mark. Max Richardson came through. Dool waited behind. He gives a hand pass out to Nankervis. Good kick from him up towards half forward. A chance for WA through Reid. He's been interfered with and will take his kick on the half back line.
And it comes towards the centre to Monteath, and he takes a mark. Now that boot's been replaced, and Bruce Monteath playing well, kicks it right across the ground. Not a good kick from Monteath. Plenty of pace here on from Brian Wood. He's in trouble. Curtis there using a stack of courage, this fellow. Trying to get out of it. Oh, holding the ball, he said. And Brian Wood will take the kick. The kick from Wood up towards the half-back line. Joe McKay can't mark it. Here's a chance for Peter Moore. Moore under the boot. Got an open territory in front of him now. Peter Moore running in, the first score on the board. 1 goal to Victoria at the 3-minute mark in the second quarter. John McIntosh.
Well, certainly a belated goal to the Victorian side, and one that they desperately need to get back into this game. That breeze has strengthened and is now favouring the Victorians to the city end of the ground, and that certainly is someone that they've needed. But I feel as though the Western Australians have relaxed to a certain extent. Their tackling, which was dominant in the first quarter, completely prevented the Victorians from delivering the ball correctly up into the forward line, has relaxed to a certain extent. The Victorians are enabling them to break away, getting an open, getting a loose man.
I believe that Graham Farmer has erred. He's used his favourite tactic again, which cost East Perth so many games throughout the qualifying season this year. He's got a loose man in defence, which leaves Dempsey as a loose man in defence for Victoria, and Sidebottom is immediately in a 2-1 situation trying to mark. Victoria.
That goal could have made the difference to Victoria, that goal by Moore.
Yeah, I hope for Victoria's sake.
There's a goal here now, look at this.
Wood, up they go. Under the ball then. Western Australia, great mark to Flower. He's playing well out on that wing. Gives it across further afield to Casson. Casson's kick is not a particularly good one. Oh, socketed off the ground. Will that be in danger?
Well,
it sure will. Looks like Kevin Worthington.
Played a good game.
Played a very good game. Look at that pass from Worthington, straight onto the chest of Campbell. Campbell, a long, long hand pass to Morley. Morley in trouble, well tackled, holding the ball for sure. And the kick going the way of Knights. And Victoria, as Lou Richards has said, that goal has made a tremendous amount of difference to them. And they're really starting to fire. And although Alexander has marked the ball, it's going to be a kick to Stephen Curtis because he was pushed in the middle of the back by Wood when he was jeopardy. No, it's not. Alexander to take it. Kick up towards the centre line. Scott is in there on the bottom of that pack. Lashes out a bit at Campbell. Tell you what, Peter Knight, you're picking the wrong man if you pick him. For sure and certain.
Silly play, Basil Campbell. He's given a kick away at this vital stage.
He's given a kick away, but he also dropped on Scott right on his neck, which must have surprised Scott.
Not in front of the umpire, though. There's Peter Knights taking it. A long kick from Peter Knights right up towards full forward. Plenty of players up there. Stephen Curtis coming through. Gives it to Valli. Valli's in trouble. Out it comes to the flank. Bruce Monteath. Out towards Campbell. Campbell very close to the line. With him is Scott. Scott and Campbell get tangled up again, and Basil Campbell to take the kick right centre wing. The roar of the crowd here at Subiaco Oval as Basil Campbell kicks towards the half-forward line.
Bad place to give away a kick for Don Scott to give away a kick right in front of the grandstand, Bob.
Taken Scott off the ground, incidentally, too.
Has he?
Yep.
There's Moss getting the tap. But it goes up to Pick, and his long kick towards the centre of the ground. Ian Miller underneath it. And he takes a mark, gives it to Joe McKay, playing on quickly up towards the half-forward line. There's a chance for Sidebottom. Barker's there with him. Trevor Barker with the ball. Sidebottom with him. Sidebottom and Barker. Great duel going on out there. Well done, Trevor Barker. Gets it back to Bruce Dill, and Victoria get out of trouble.
Well, superb play by Victoria then. They backed up well, but by GWA are going with a great deal of vigour. Max Richardson a chance. Can he recover in time? Yes, he can. Max Richardson with superb pace. Right up towards full forward. I think it's out on the full. Desperate in his endeavours was Jim Sewell. Couldn't get there in time. And now Victoria. Nan Curvis with the ball. Up towards half-back. Beautiful kick into the centre. Straight into the arms of Tuck. And Tuck with the left boot. Up towards half-forward. Victoria certainly playing better. More up. On the ground. Chance for Miller. Miller still on the bottom of the pack there. Umpire's whistle has gone. Number 12 for Victoria is John Byrne. And the bounce down to take place on Victoria's half-forward line. And Lou, Victoria seem to be getting a little bit more system and a bit more desire into their game.
A lot more confident now at the moment. There's a chance now, but they're still not overrunning the ball, not playing with the confidence they should play. There's a free kick to West Australia.
Stephen Curtis to take it.
Mainly because they're playing in front all the time, West Australia.
Yeah, it's obviously what they've been told, and they're
That's
doing
right.
it well. Out to McKay, over his head. Joe McKay has the run of the ball. It bounced kindly for him, as you saw. Joe McKay's kick. Looking further afield there for number 17, who's Jim Sewell. A long way down from full forward, and Sewell's been paid the mark. And a 15-metre penalty. Sewell with the ball. Good kick up towards full forward. A chance for Sidebottom, but he's behind. Victorian defence playing very, very well. A lot better than they did in the first quarter. Chance for Campbell. He's playing the ball along in front of him. Has been pushed in the middle of the back by Woods as the umpire. Grin all over his face, number 30. Basil Campbell on right centre wing to put WA into attack. Up towards Moss. He can't mark. Moss goes in, Wood goes down, Moss goes down. And the umpire decides that on the right centre wing with the score, WA 6-5-41, Victoria 1 point. A bounce down will take place.
Graham Moss is in there to compete with Len Thompson. And Neil Balme is also there. Thompson gets the hit. That's a good one too. Valli coming in, using pace. Through comes the Victoria there. A good kick towards the full forward line. Here's a chance for them. Great mark to Glendinning. Play on, says the umpire. Over to Miller. Miller's at centre half back. Miller gets his kick a long one towards the half forward line. Young's up, can't get it. Through comes Richardson. He can't get it either. Bill Peckin kicks it down towards the half forward line. Joe McKay. Great mark, Joe McKay. Takes it at centre half back. Non-stop football. Up towards Balme. And Balme takes it back. Neil Balme in the centre of the ground. Gives it to Cable. It's dangerous, but he gets out of it. A good pass. Featherby. Beautiful pass from Cable. And WA in attack once more.
Oh, what a superb pass from Barry Cable.
But isn't he football perfection, Cable? He's marvellous, isn't he, really, when you work him out?
Absolutely superb. What is he, 34 years of age?
But that was just to position them right down the fella's throat, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, there was two blokes on his tail, and Cable was able to split the centre between the two of them. And unfortunately for WA, Jim Sewell's kick was not accurate, and it was 1 point only. But Cable is... on these bigger Western Australian grounds, I still think that if he came back to WA, he'd have 2 or 3 years of football left in him. Chance for Victoria. Knights is in there. Number 14, pushing the ball along in front of him. So is George Young. Hand pass comes out further afield to number 11, Monteath. Monteath to Sidebottom, who's in all sorts of trouble. Tackled. Manages to get his kick in, but Dool is up there. And Bruce Dool, dour as ever, holds up that Western Australian attack forward. Bruce Dool, Carlton defender. Ball coming out towards the left centre wing. In they go. Featherby is on the ground now, pushing the ball towards the boundary line as Wells. He's been interfered with, and Wells just backward of left centre wing will take his kick. Wells, good kick too, up towards half forward. Moss is in the van from behind and has taken a great mark over the top of Henry. Graham Moss, the WA captain, runner-up for this year's Sandover medal. There's his kick, straight back from whence it came. Up they go. Oh, chance there for George Young, goodness me. Young, a hand pass to Featherby, who's in all sorts of trouble, but he's been interfered with, and Peter Featherby, a little lucky, I feel, on that occasion.
I think it's a sign of lack of confidence in the Victorian side, because they're going for players instead of going for the ball most of the time.
Fair comment too, Lou.
Kick from Featherby. Here's a chance for Richardson. Richardson over the half-forward line. 40 metres out, under the boot. He was on his wrong foot. And the ball's out of play in that left full forward position. Well, Richardson just couldn't get his foot to the ball then. There goes the lead out to Robert Flower. Robert Flower all on his own, outer side of the ground. Kicks it towards the half-forward line, looking for Schimmelbusch and fighting that player. Wayne Schimmelbusch over the half-forward line, kicks it towards full forward. Must be a no play on, says the umpire. Stephen Curtis, last line of defence. Here's a little back pocket player. Puts it in towards McKay. He's dropped it. Joe McKay should have held that one. Off goes John Byrne. This could be a goal to Victoria. In towards full forward. 1 point. Well, players are dropping marks at the moment, John. Some of the Western Australians are relaxed or nervous or something.
Yes, Bob, it's the 12-minute mark of the third quarter. Victoria have scored, the second quarter. Victoria have scored one and Western Australia only one behind, but a bit of nervousness, and this is a vital stage of the game here. The side that breaks away here will probably go on to win it.
Yes, Gary Dempsey now called onto the ball and takes that mark at half forward. It's a wobbly old punt kick towards full forward. Thumped away, picked up by Miller in the last line of defence. Hand passes to Cable. Cable, plenty of time there to get rid of it. Puts it further afield to Glendinning. And WA get out of trouble again. Up it goes towards the flank. Race on out there. Out it goes to Dool. Back come Victoria. Over the centre of the ground now. Robert Flower. Flower, plenty of time to run. Up to the half forward line. He's got to be tackled. Gets to half forward. Puts it out towards the flank. Curtis coming in, can't get it. Peter Moore hasn't had many touches. Tackled hard there. Gives it to John Byrne. Puts it in towards the flank. taken by Ian Miller, last line of defence, and WA out of trouble once more.
Right onto the chest of Hunter, who's come on the ground. Ken Hunter, Claremont defender, gives it to his captain, Coach Graham Moss, who's well and truly sunk on that occasion by Tuck. But WA managed to get the ball out. Graham Moss, you threw that for sure and certain. And the kick going the way of Victoria's Wells on the left half forward flank. Graham Moss a little groggy, actually. I saw him down on the ground in Victoria's full forward line a moment ago, resting on the ground. He got a bit of a thump, but he's up and going again. Curtis, dogged defence. Hand pass to Worthington, who's all about the place at the moment. Manages to get a hand pass further afield. Thought there may have been a kick there, but there's not. Taken by Schimmelbusch towards full forward. Moore is there on his own. And
they're looking a bit more confident, Victoria, now, aren't they?
They sure are, Lou. Looking a lot more confident. They've got a bit of system and a bit of purpose into their play.
More aggressive.
More aggressive, as you say. And Moore, and now a chance to bring up Victoria's second goal. There goes his kick. It's on the way. I think he's missed. He has. And Victoria, John McIntosh, could ill afford to lose shots like that. They worked the ball down well, and it would give them a tremendous lift if they were goals instead of behinds.
Yes, well, I stick to my statement. I think the side that gets the break in the next few minutes, it will go on and win this game. And Victoria trying hard, but a lot of confusion out there at the moment.
There's a good mark. Now it's play on. Looked like a mark to George Young. He gives it over to Ken Hunter. There's a young halfback, screws it in towards the flank position. Balme racing for it and out of bounds in front of the members' stand. Plenty of pressure on in this quarter. 15 minutes gone. WA 6-6, Victoria 1-2. In come the Ruckman. Alexander opposed to Thompson. Out it comes towards Wood. And once more it's out of play. Bottle up here on the members' stand flank, and Victoria must get it over to the centre if they want to score with this breeze. Here's a big man again. Balme's in front of Thompson and Alexander also. From the back is Dempsey. Puts it over to Featherby. Featherby's high kick to half forward. 2-1 up here. Plenty of Victorians. Pickens there. Can't mark it. Well taken by Magro. It's smothered. Well smothered by Dool. Look at that desperation on the part of players there as they go in. Cable fighting for the ball there. John Byrne. And the crowd applaud as a bounce down comes once more. On the half forward flank. And there's the kick once more to Bruce Monteath. Bruce Monteath with a long kick towards full forward. Sidebottom a chance. Sidebottom from the back. Taken under the bank. And the major for WA at the 16-minute mark in the second quarter against the breeze. Lou Richards.
No comment.
Why not?
John McIntosh.
Football.
Well,
He's a very classy player, Sidebottom, and that was a beautiful play. Outmanoeuvred the smaller guy, and Victoria not still playing as well as they can play, and of course that's mainly due to the fact that West Australia are playing so well, playing in front, and that's the name of the game, and they're attacking the ball all the time.
Well, one goal there in the early minutes of this quarter to Victoria, and at the 16 or 17-minute mark, Sidebottom's brought up Western Australia's first.
A lot of uncertainty about the Victorian side.
But knowing Victorian sides as we do, that won't last long. Casson with the ball, up towards half forward. A chance there for Hunter. Casson socking it off. Max Richardson in the van there. What can he do with it? Oh, fell very heavily. Chance there for Alexander. All players fumbling. Ken Hunter, good football. Not now though. Out towards Joe McKay. Desperation there from Knights. Knights, a long way down from half back. Maybe having a run on the ball or possibly playing on the half forward line to add a little bit of bite to the Victorian side. Knights just backward of left half forward. Kick, torpedo, a beauty too, right up to the edge of the square. A chance there for Moore. He's in a 2-1 situation. Hunter with the ball out to Moss. Cable shepherding brilliantly, allows Moss to get his kick. Right up to the right centre wing, up they go. Everyone up. Joe McKay is there, number 19 for WA. He can't do anything with the ball. Umpire Ian Robinson will bounce it down on WA's right centre wing.
I've never seen a WA side so determined, John.
They sure are. And Bruce Monteith's having a lot of trouble with his boot there. It looks like he's got a white one on or whatever. Kicked by Balme, or two WA players collide. This allows Knights to pick the ball up. Hunter a chance, can't mark. Tremendous amount of courage being held there, I'd say, by Tuck. Kenny Hunter suffers a little bit, Lou, from glass jaw. I think he's had about 4 or 5 broken jaws so far in his very short league career. And a chance now for Tuck, number 19. He's been held when not in possession of the ball by Ian Miller. and Tuck just backward of left half forward flank to put Victoria long and deep into attack up towards Moore, who still has Moss and Glendinning playing on him. Decides to go in short. The lead was on there from Hendry, is it? Yes, it is. John
Hasn't had many kicks, this fellow, John.
Has not at the moment.
I think this is his second kick, I think.
He's only about, what, Lou? He'd be about 35 metres out directly in front of boy. If Victoria ever needed a goal, this is it. Hendry comes in. Drop punt on the way. Goal umpire right behind that. You can tell from the reaction of the crowd, which was non-existent, that was a goal. Second goal on the board to Victoria, and they badly needed at the 18-minute mark, John McIntosh.
Yes, a little bit of loose play there by the West Australian backs to leave that Victorian player unattended, and of course you can't afford to give away goals. There's only been 3 scored in this quarter, and they're very, very hard to come by, but to give one away on a plate like that is certainly not good football.
Well, physical fitness is going to play a very important part in this one. Who's going to be the fittest side at the end of the game? There's the throw down once more. Magro putting his body in. Holding the ball is a correct decision, and Stanley Magro will take the kick just forward to the centre position. Now he's at half forward with a 15-metre penalty.
Tell you what, it's not a bad 15 metres either, quite frankly.
Don Scott, he's a long strider, Bob Phillips. There's Stanley Magro there, taking a long kick towards the square. Beautiful kick from Magro. Well, distance was right, accuracy astray, and the minor score only. WA at the 18-minute mark it is. 2-2-14 Victoria, 7-7-49 WA, and there's a kick in. Nan Curvis taking it in the back pocket. Kicks it towards the flank. Chance once more for them, picked up by Featherby. Featherby's long kick towards full forward. In the last line of defence was Stephen Ick, and he takes a mark. Quickly puts it out towards the flank towards Pickin, but in chips John Byrne. Now gives it to Bill Pickin very close to the line. Bill Pickin now running over the half-back line. Still with the ball. Oh, right in the arms of Balme. Balme steadies a long kick towards full forward, but he wasn't steady enough and threw only for the minor score. Great opportunity lost there, Lou.
Well, they've made millions of mistakes, the Victorian side. Mistakes galore, and of course that is certainly satisfying the West Australian players and also the crowd here. They're really jumping out of their seats.
Barker, a superb kick into play. A chance now for Richardson once again. Superb play by Max Richardson. Kick on the way. Crowd erupts. Oh, you think we wouldn't like him back in WA, Lou? Slams Western Australia's 8th goal through, and at the 20-minute mark, WA not looking too bad at all, John McIntosh.
No, they're certainly looking good. They've steadied a little bit in the last few minutes, and a good individual performance there by Max Richardson brings up Western Australia's 8th goal. 8 goal, 8, 56 points, leading Victoria 2 goals, 2, 14. A very sad and sorry scoreboard for coach Ron Barassi.
John, I think the 9 players that have come for Victoria to boost WA have all played their part up to date.
Yes, they certainly have, particularly Monteath and Richardson across that half-forward line.
There's umpire Ian Robinson in the centre. Moss gets the ball down. Wells is there. Out it comes towards the flank to Sheedy now on the ground. Kevin Sheedy in trouble, quickly gets out of it, puts it towards half-forward. Underneath it is Ian Miller, and he takes a good mark.
By golly, he's played a great game, hasn't he?
He was well taught, Lou. Puts it out towards the flank.
Maybe so, I don't know about that.
And Graham Moss takes it. Graham Moss, centre wing. Off goes the skipper.
Ooh,
Gets out of trouble. Plenty of determination in towards Max Richardson, and he takes a mark. He's got a lead further afield to Alan Reid. Alan Reid, he's over the left half forward flank. He's gone for the long kick, but it's not a good one. Ick can't take it. Sidebottom claims him. And Ick will take the kick in that last line of defence, and I think Alan Reid a little bit nervous there to make that mistake.
Yes, he was. There's Stephen Ick putting the ball right across the other side of the ground where a good mark taken by Wood. Wasting no time, but in trouble. Look, Victorians got no one to back each other up. Finally they do so. Gives it further afield, and then Curvis backing up a long way down from his full-back position. Kick is a good one up towards half-forward. A chance there for Rawlings, but once more Ian Miller chipping in. Miller's kick back. Up they go. Both Victorians stayed down. And Lou, as you said, they're not playing well because Morley was just able to drift in and take that mark. Ball taken once again by Balme. Balme and Dool. Morley is there again. Will he be paid a kick? Yes, he will.
Front position once more.
Helped himself a little bit, but nevertheless he was in front, as WA have been for most of the day. And Tony Morley just forward of right centre wing to put WA into attack. Good kick too. No one at all at home for WA, and Stephen Ick just walked straight through and took that mark and put it straight back from whence it came. frustration from Hendry as he pushed Ian Miller in the middle of the back, and a great game on that half-back flank Ian Miller's playing.
And there's his kick, a long kick towards a half-forward line, looking for his skipper Moss. And a great leap from Alan Reid, gaining confidence now in his first game. He's in the centre of the ground. He must kick it long, and that's the way it goes, up towards a half-forward line. Sidebottom! And Sidebottom had his name written all over that one to take that mark. 40 metres out, a bit of a scuffle going on up there. Nobody wants to give the ball up. Umpire Robinson coming in now to sort it out. Cable sorting out Garry Sidebottom, and Sidebottom is going to take his kick.
Well, that's a sign of frustration on the part of the Victorians, I'd say, isn't it?
Yes, a little bit, Lou.
No doubt about that. When you're rattled, you do all the silly things in the world. They're doing it personified at the moment.
Well,
Barry Cable was sure talking to Sidebottom to steady him down there.
Can he bring up WA's 9th goal? All eyes on him as he goes back to have the drop punt. It won't make the distance, or will it? Right into the teeth of goals, but it hasn't got through. Here's a chance for them.
Magro.
Picked up by Magro, and the 9th goal on the board to WA.
Well, Magro playing Western Australian side, certainly playing with confidence. They're backing one another up, and this is where the Victorians are letting themselves down. 9th goal to the Western Australian side.
Featherby coming off, John.
Featherby coming off the ground.
Bill Valli, I'd say, going on.
Probably they've been working that switch with a mobile division for most of the game, and it certainly paid dividends because Western Australia have held control on the ball. Valli on. But certainly Western Australia chock full of confidence at the 25-minute mark of this second quarter.
Well, this is shoving up, no doubt about this is a dead set West Australian win, because Victoria looking pretty pathetic at the moment. Look at this now, this is a sign of confidence, going out after the ball all the time.
He really committed himself to that one, did Ross Glendinning. Look at him following it up. As we said a little while ago, no wonder North Melbourne want this fella. Oh, and a great mark to Flower. Oh, superb mark, running the same way as the ball went. And there you won't see a finer mark than that anywhere. Big pack up. Cable waiting down. Look at the hand pass from Cable to Reid. Superb play. What a game of football you're seeing here this afternoon. Max Richardson robbed of it on that occasion by Picken, however. Picken's hand pass, good one too. Out to Flower. Up go Victoria, up towards their half-forward line. A chance for them. Ball on the ground. Western Australia reading it better, but on that occasion, well done by Wells. Wells kick up towards full forward. I think that's a goal. 1 point only, to the delight of the West Australian crowd and the frustration of the Victorian team.
Well, that's nearly a commanding lead there. They'd be very stiff to lose this match really now, wouldn't they?
Still a long way to go, Lou.
Lou, to be a commanding lead against anybody except the Victorian side.
Oh, golly, I don't know.
There's the ball at centre half forward. Cable trying to come through. Doesn't take the ball with him. On the half forward flank for look at those players going in. Max Richardson this time. Over it goes to Ian Miller, reading the game very well on the half back line. The bounce goes against him. In comes Schimmelbusch. Right full forward pocket. Wayne Schimmelbusch, a long kick towards full forward. Moore's there. Underneath it. And pushed through. Well done, Ross Glendinning. Pushed through for the minor score.
Don Scott coming off for the Victorian side.
Yes, they're working changes. Both coaches working overtime there. There's a short pass in. Taken by George Worthington it was. A long kick towards the centre of the ground. Magro underneath it. Chance for Valli. Bruce Monteath. Over it goes to Reid. Reid, a short pass to Sidebottom wasn't a good one. Trevor Barker chips in the last line of the fence. Out it goes towards the flank. And a great mark out there to WA.
Oh, superb mark, Bruce Monteath. He really had to wait for that one to come down to him. Flower was coming in at 100 miles an hour. He stood his ground. Monteith's kick. Going to be a little bit offline. Moss, has he been paid the mark? No. But fortunately for WA, the throw-in to take place. It looks like the Victorian bench, the runner resting his head in his hands with the phone. He probably doesn't have to put it up against his ear. He can hold it about 2 feet away from the noise that Barassi would be making, I would imagine. Snapshot from George Young. 1 point only. So at the 27-minute mark, Graham Farmer looking very satisfied at the moment. But he, behind him is Leon Larkin, probably doing more directing than Graham Farmer was then. Kick into play is going to favour Hendry.
Having to run on the ball probably, John. They brought him up.
Looks like it. Hendry with a hand pass to Schimmelbusch.
Oh,
Schimmelbusch puts his teammate Wood under a tremendous amount of pressure. Fortunately, he's able to recover. Sheedy a chance. He can't control it. He and Western Australia's Stephen Curtis get mixed up, and the throw-in to take place. So at the 27-minute mark, WA at 9.9.63, Victoria 2.4.16. Off they go again.
Alexander takes that hit. It goes to Schimmelbusch. He's in trouble. Wood's got it. Tuckett is very close to the line, and once more the throw-in right in front of the grandstand.
No.
And Schimmelbusch been awarded the kick. Kicks it in towards the half-forward flank. Joe McKay underneath it. Can't take it. Wells has got it.
Good football.
Well done, Wells. Puts it on towards Rawlings. Glendinning there, the only player between WA and the goals, and well done, Russ Glendinning. Looked like a certain goal. That's the determination written all over the face of the WA players, and the plaudits of the crowd as Russ Glendinning certainly stopped a certain goal. Alexander takes it, gives it to Curtis. Out it comes to Valli. Combination from the black and gold players. Up towards the flank, and Wayne Schimmelbusch takes the mark. Good shepherding there by Stephen Ick. Wayne Schimmelbusch. The centre of the ground, a 15-metre penalty, tried to get around, but George Young being brought back on the mark. Here's the North Melbourne player now, taking his kick, and he's kicking it towards the centre of the ground. Plenty of players there for WA. Ross Glendinning can't mark it. Trying to get it out of the pack, picked up by Peter Knights. And Henry there. Henry takes the mark. Well, Glendinning looked as though he's going to clear it. There's the siren.
Well, that was more good luck than good judgment, wasn't it? That mark to Henry. Actually, it was a bit of a fluke, really.
Yes, well, it was a kick out there, but he's got the ball. He's only 25 metres out. The crowd onto him as John Henry comes in to have a shot. Looks like a goal from here. It is. And the third goal onto Victoria at half-time. WA 9-9, 63 after a great half of football. Lead Victoria 3-4, 22. Ready to start the second half of the State of Origin match here at Subiaco Oval. WA 9-9, 63, lead Victoria 3-4, 22. WA scoreboard side of the ground. Chance for Curtis. Great chance out there for Rawlings. Plenty of pace from Barry Rawlings. Puts it in towards a half-back flank. More, but in comes Campbell. Over goes Campbell, must get a kick, and Basil Campbell to take the kick. Switches play out towards the flank. Umpire has pulled the game back, I think, and Basil Campbell will take another kick.
No, I'd say he was paying the mark further up the field to
yes, that's right, Stephen Curtis. Stephen Curtis gone for the short pass towards the flank and taken by Ian Miller. Ian Miller, right half-back flank, gets it in towards the centre. There's a high kick from Worthington towards centre half forward. Thompson. Hick. They're backing up now better as it goes over to Wells. He gets it further field to Michael Tuck. He's in the centre of the ground. Victoria making a determined effort this quarter. Into the back of Ross Glendinning, and he will take the kick between centre half back and full back.
And he's absolutely given Moore a hiding this afternoon. He's given him no peace at all. Moore's hardly been able to do anything, and that's 12 kicks that Glendinning's had, not counting the kicks into play. Campbell all the time. Oh Lord, what a shocking kick from Basil Campbell. High in the air, gave Reid absolutely no chance of marking that, as Nan Curvis, as you saw coming through, is able to destroy it to the ground. Bad play from Basil Campbell then. Up they go, high in the air, good thump by Knights. Campbell once again can't pick the ball up, must be paid a kick also. Basil Campbell, I don't think will be on the ground a great deal of the time, because I don't believe he's as fit as he should be.
Well, that's his game in short bursts, John, so this is ideal for him.
Sure is, and look at that for a kick. Right up towards the half-forward flank. Magro stayed down. He tripped Nan Curvis there. And Nan Curvis to take the kick on the right half-back flank. Ian Nan Curvis had a lot of work to do. High kick. Chance for Balme in the front of the pack. Was under the ball. Jim Moore a long way away from full-back. Or Knights it was, I should say. Hand pass further afield up towards Flower. Back to Ick. Ick's kick is a shocker. It's going to fall straight to the arms of Campbell. And Campbell was probably saying, not towards me, not towards me. 15-metre penalty being imposed against Kevin Sheedy, who wouldn't come back on the mark. Now he is, and this brings Campbell up to just backward of Western Australia's left centre wing. Campbell's kick, not as good as the first one, but not a bad one either. Moss allowed to fly almost unopposed, and Graham Moss midway between centre and centre half forward. WA into attack. Good kick up towards half forward. Chance for Alexander. He's in trouble. Gets the hand pass out to Monteath. Monteath being called to play on. And over there is Featherby. Featherby can't do anything with it, and the bounce down will take place. The score at the moment at the 5-minute mark in the third quarter, Western Australia doing it very, very well, 9-9-63, Victoria 3-4-22. Bounce down on WA's half-forward line. Cable is in there. So is Wells for Victoria. Hotly pursued by Peter Featherby, who robbed him of the ball. Featherby being held when not in possession. And Peter Featherby now from about 35 metres out from goal, a chance to bring up WA's 10th goal. For our Eastern States viewers, let me tell you that Western Australia have been playing a superb brand of football today. Peter Featherby's kick on the way, straight through the centre for the 10th goal. Victoria have not been able to get into this game at all. John McIntosh with 10 goals on the board. WA, I think, are going to be a little hard to stop from here.
Yes, they are going to be hard, particularly as they have the advantage of this breeze, which has strengthened in this quarter. It's only been going 4 or 5 minutes. But Western Australia really need now to put the nail in the coffin by kicking a couple more. It's a handy lead, 10 goals 9 to 3 goals 4, but we certainly can't write off any Victorian side.
We certainly can't. We'll get some comments from Lou Richards shortly as umpire Robertson bounces the ball in the centre. Moss gets the tap once more. Over it goes to Featherby. Onto that left foot towards half forward. Good mark to Nankervis. Nankervis through his body, as you saw there. Goes towards the outer flank. There it goes up towards Moss. Moss, great mark, Moss. Plays on quickly to Morley. Over to Featherby. Over the half-forward line, there goes a pass to Sidebottom. Great football, WA. Beautiful foot passing there, right under the chest of Sidebottom. And Sidebottom 30 metres out between right half and right full forward with the breeze right behind him. Garry Sidebottom, he's already kicked, what, 2? 1. 1. This could be second, or could it? The crowd says yes. The goal umpire says yes. And another goal on the board to WA, Lou Richards.
Well, there is no way in the world that Victoria could win this game the way they're playing, and West Australia playing with a ton of confidence and beautiful football. And of course, we must admit this, that the crowd are certainly favouring Victoria, and that must be encouraging West Australia a lot too.
Yeah, that'd be right.
Yes, it's home ground, Lou. It's
particularly the commentators, and I must say this to you guys: you've certainly not one-sided. You're giving a very honest opinion on the matter.
We like to see a good game, Lou, and we hope it is, as Thompson takes it out towards the flank to Cable. Played a great first half. There's Alan Reid playing his first game. Over to Featherby. He kicks towards the outer flank. Can't take it by Wood. Picked up by Ick. His goes towards the half-forward line. Campbell underneath it, and Campbell takes the mark.
Darling of the crowd, Basil Campbell. High kick from him out towards Bruce Monteath. Chance for Victoria. Can't do anything with it. Very scrambly on the bottom of the pack there.
Holding the ball, John.
Looks like holding the ball. Peter Featherby to take the kick and a 15-metre penalty, and he's playing very well in the centre. Featherby's kick. What's going to happen? Is there a relay kick down the ground? Barry Cable going in there doing a little bit of sorting out. That's amazing. Barry Cable in the centre of the ground. Sheedy. No love lost between those two. Developed a bit of aggression, has our Barry Cable over there, Lou.
I don't think so. I think it's a sign of a side being rattled, the other side playing it cool, calm and collect. That's what it boils down to.
Good comment. Max Richardson with the ball on WA's left half forward flank. 11-9-75, WA Victoria 3-4-22. Max Richardson already kicked 3 goals. Coming in for number 4. Kick on the way. Crowd erupts. 12th goal on the board for WA. 7 minutes gone in the third quarter. And been a very fine third quarter opening, John.
Yes, it certainly has 3 goals in 7 minutes, and any sort of football is good. But to see it happen against the Victorian side, it certainly heartens the... what do I say, Bob? It certainly lifts the hearts of all the crowd here.
It certainly does.
12-9 to 3-4 is a remarkable-looking scoreboard from the West Australian versus Vic.
Bob, I think that the West Australia, the Perth crowd, should be really congratulated on the tendency today. It's really marvellous.
Yes, about 30,000, Lou.
It's really great, isn't it?
Yes, and the promoters of the match too, but that scoreboard is generally the other way around with Victoria on top. But Peter Knight's sending them to attack now, up towards half forward. Here's a chance for them. Well read there by Balme.
Worthington.
It's a long, Worthington it was, gets a long kick towards the flank, but in comes Brian Wood to take the mark. Vic going to attack once again, up towards the flank. There they go through Rawlings. Oh, shocking pass. And WA get out of trouble. Out it comes to Alan Reid. He's on the centre wing. The pass further afield. Bruce Dill's there, so is Monteath. Played a great game for his side. All the ex-West Australians from Victoria have played a great half. Quickly plays on to Alan Reid. He's gone for the long pass towards Sidebottom. There's a bubble in front of the stand.
Tell you what, Neil Balme unloaded Nankervis like I've never seen Nankervis unloaded before.
Well, right in front of the stand was a bubble there. You can see them now as Dempsey takes the kick. He's put it over to Rawlings. Rawlings tried hard for Victoria, but they haven't had too many that's in front of the moment. There's his kick. It's not a good one. Campbell there battling. So is Featherby. And the kick going the way of Victoria, right in the centre of the ground. Michael Tuck.
Looks like it'll be taken by Michael Tuck, and there's been no lost love between he and Featherby either. Ball up towards half forward, and a good mark taken by John Henry. Well, Victoria having to work for every kick they get. WA giving them absolutely no breathing space at all. There's Henry's kick up, beauty too, right up to the edge of the square. Up they go, thumped away by Glendinning. Ball towards the goal line and has been forced through for 1 point only. And that's Victoria's first score for the quarter. WA have kicked 3 goals. And there's the Victorian bench, and I'm sure that they wouldn't be too happy at the moment. 12-9-81 Western Australia. Victoria 3-5-23. Off go WA again. Ball to number 12. That's Stephen Curtis. Into the centre it goes. Chance there for Ick. He can't do anything with it. Morley bursting through. Up towards WA's half forward line. Sidebottom. Did not bounce kindly for him. Barker did it brilliantly. He's in trouble. He's out of trouble as he gets the ball out towards the right centre wing. Up they go. Flower, brilliant mark over the top of Alan Reid. And Flower has been one of the shining lights as far as Victoria are concerned. Into Sheedy, number 10. His kick, a shocker. Barry Cable, brilliant play, Cable. Gosh, he's played superbly today. That kick out to Peter Featherby, who's on left centre wing. He goes inboard looking for Max Richardson, who's kicked 4 goals. He can't mark. Balme was there, but Wells put it up towards half forward. Worthington over the top. Look at the desperation on Joe McKay's face as he comes through to take that ball. Number 19 for WA. And a 15-metre penalty that umpire Ian Robinson has awarded against him. And things, Lou, just not going right for Victoria.
Well, they're frustrated. They make silly mistakes, and that's the way it goes. You can't stop that, of course. And West Australia playing with a ton of confidence.
Barker
even Barker wasn't certain about that hand pass, was he?
No, he was not. Holding the ball against Stan Magro, and Barker, full-back, to take the kick.
Yes, Barker's been battling well against odds in that position. 21st birthday yesterday, this young player. Up to Alexander. He can't mark, but he thumps it away. Battling on the half-forward flank, very close to the line. He's still battling. Been a feature of the players, the determination of the WA players injected into them by the 9 players from Victoria and coach Graham Farmer, and they've certainly all responded. Up goes Alexander, taken by Cable. Over towards centre half-forward. Here's a chance for George Young. George Young about 20 metres out. He's on his wrong foot. His right foot towards goals. And the 13th goal to WA, Lou Richards.
Well, it was actually George Young's been a pretty quiet player today, really, and I suppose that makes him feel terribly happy because he's been out of the action. Well, then again, there's been so many great West Australian players here, so you're a bit lucky to be a real good player today, aren't you? I think possibly the darling of this crowd here today, without any shadow of doubt, is Barry Campbell. This idolised this guy, and I'll tell you what, let's be honest about this. In Victoria, it's the same thing. He's really captured the imagination of the Victorian public, and Cable is what I class as probably the most professional, the most perfect football, and what football is all about. Barry Cable.
Good comments, Lou, and accurate comments too. He's played a superb game today. His hand passing has been an absolute delight, and his foot passing is the Barry Cable of old.
Front position once again, John.
Yep, agree entirely, Bob. Ron Alexander to take the kick in the centre. Very frustrating day for Victoria. Alexander's kick, look at that, right up almost to the edge of the square. Thumped away by Barker. A chance there for Richardson. But the Victorian side are getting absolutely no breathing space at all. Call to play on. Balme with the ball. Up towards full forward. Not bouncing kindly. A chance for Moss. Dool has him. Well played Victoria as they work the ball out of defence. To the other side of the ground are Rawlings, who's got yards to do whatever he wants to do with the ball. He gives it to Flower, who's been a fine player for Victoria today.
Yes, agree, John. A very good player, Robert Flower.
There's Francis Burke, the Victorian captain, who's not on the field at the moment, about to come on. Cable! What can you say about the game that Barry Cable has played today? Superb one-handed mark. Look at the kick, Sidebottom up.
No backup.
2-1 situation. Barker is able to relieve well, and Rawlings is there to take the mark on the right centre wing. Off he goes. Up towards half forward. One of the few times that Victoria have been into attack. All Western Australia. Miller is in there. So is Campbell. Sitting on top of him was Scott.
But 3 Victorian players spoil each other that time. Did you notice that?
Yep. Yeah, they're not playing.
There's a lack of understanding, isn't there?
There sure is, Lou, at the moment anyway. But as we know with Victorian sides, if they click, they'll click brilliantly. Cable once again. Ball up towards half forward. Magro a chance. Is he being interfered with? He was. Nankervis doesn't seem to think so, but number 4 in your screen, Stan Magro, just forward of left centre wing to put WA into attack.
Yes, kicked 2 goals, the Collingwood player, and he's on the half-forward flank. Sees the lead to Max Richardson. It's not a good one. Over to George Young. George Young battling his way through. Gets a screw kick, but it's not a good one. And it's out of bounds at left full forward.
Jim Sewell about to come on the ground, lining up in your screen.
Yes, Jim Sewell about to come on. The interchange here with 3 reserves coming on. And look at that tackling by the WA players. Magro coming through, hell without it, and must take his kick. The feature of the play.
Bob, I've never seen Victorian sides or Victorian players under so much pressure. It's amazing.
They can't get clear at all, John. A beautiful 50-metre kick right up to full forward from Magro. Dempsey's there trying to thumb it away. A mark has it been paid? It has. The mark being paid there to Neil Balme, is it?
Graham Moss.
Graham Moss, the skipper of WA, Brownlow medalist, runner-up for the Sandover medal here in WA this year. And at the 15-minute mark with WA 13-9, Victoria 3-5, Basil Campbell coming off the ground with looks like an injured leg. We'll pick him up in a moment as Graham Moss has this kick. Listen to the crowd. Graham Moss, he's kicked. It's through, and the 14th goal to WA. John Mack.
Well, the 5th goal to Western Australia in this quarter, and they're running right away with this game. Whatever way the end result is.
There's Campbell there. He doesn't look too good, John.
No, that's bad luck for Graham Campbell, involved in that heavy clash a minute ago. And let's hope that his injury is not severe. Even though these players are insured, they can't be replaced. And that's half the problem. Who's that? Is that Balme, is it?
Yes, Neil Balme in plenty of trouble also. So WA with 2 players off the ground. He's certainly in trouble. Look at Neil Balme. Bad luck, Neil Balme, and bad luck, Western Australia.
Western Australia playing very well. 93 plays 23, 70 points in front. Alexander up towards half forward. Magro working hard. This time it's going to be Nankervis to clear for Victoria. Up towards the right centre wing. Reid is there. He can't do anything with it. Worthington also, number 27, very angry with himself that he allowed that to go out of bounds. And the throw-in to take place on Victoria's right centre wing. Thompson. Chance there for Francis Burke. To Flower, who's been a fine player for Victoria. Look at the pace of that man. Beautiful left foot kick up towards half forward. Joe McKay, high, great mark McKay. He's been rocked like at centre half back. There he sees his teammate, Tony Morley, loose out on that right centre wing. And Tony Morley able to take that mark. Well, WA running, and they're in front all the time and making it very difficult for Victoria. Peter Featherby, in his endeavours to take the ball forward, he's carried it out of bounds, and the throw-in will take place at the 17-minute mark in the 3rd quarter.
It's a marvellous thing what confidence does for you, but isn't it? You know that Western Australia have got confidence. They're just attacking the ball every time and taking tremendous chance, whereas Victoria's terribly hesitant about their play.
Yes, I agree, Lou. As Joe McKay kicks it towards the half-forward line, Alexander all on his own, and he takes them up. Ron Alexander at centre half-forward. He's got plenty of leads. There's one of them. Over towards a half-forward flank, and well taken there by George Young. Well, WA forwards running riot at the moment, and we're waiting for this Victorian comeback, Lou. Is it going to come?
No, it won't. It's run out. You'll win this by another 10 goals, I'd say, without any fear of contradiction.
George Young from 45 metres out, the St Kilda player now, coming in to have the shot. Former Subiaco star. A long, high kick allowed for the breeze. Good kick, George Young, and the 15th goal on the board to WA.
That's George Young's 2nd goal for this quarter, and Western Australia's 6th. And as I mentioned, they're running right away with this. And as I was saying before, whatever way this the result turns out today, I would say that this would ensure that the replay would be on the cards next year, Lou.
There's nothing about that. This has been a tremendous success from the point of view of Western Australia, proving that they have some great players coming to Victoria, and they're doing very well. But let's say this, that the West Australian boys that play here permanently are doing very well too. That's the big thing, I'd say.
18 players, Lou, playing as a side.
Bounce down in the centre, very scrambly. And it looks like the free kick is going the way of Tuck. Hand pass further afield in the general direction of Knights. He's in trouble, but being held by the ankle, indicated by umpire Phillips. And Peter Knights will put this one long and deep into Victoria's forward line, you can bet. Wobbly kick, but plenty of distance. Up they go. The only one there is Graham Moss. And Moss able to take the easiest of marks. And Peter Moore has had an absolute horrific day up there today. Glendinning has given him a hiding. The ball hasn't been coming up to him, and it's been a very, very sad day for the great Collingwood full forward. There it is on the other side of the ground. Scrambly play over there. Young is in that. And so there also was Stephen Ick. And the bounce down to take place underneath the scoreboard. Working very hard. Don Scott does it well too. Up towards half forward. Nobody can control the ball at the moment. Free kick has been paid. It's going Victoria's way. And the player to take it will be their captain, Francis Burke.
Francis Burke off the ground in the first quarter. Hasn't been on there very long. A long kick towards full forward. Moss once again. Moss draws a player. Over it goes to Ian Miller. Ian Miller at half back. Look at that hand passing on the outer side. Well backed up again by Miller. Plenty of time. They haven't had a kick yet. They'll have a kick shortly. It goes towards the wing. There's 5 hand passes. 6. Have they overdone it? Well done, Western Australia. To get out of trouble, but it's not a good kick and into the arms of the reliable Dool, and they haven't had too many players that have been reliable all day, Victoria. Bruce Dool kicks it up towards the centre wing. Plenty of Victorian players out there, but look at that determination by the WA side. Taken by Don Scott. Haven't seen much of him. The Hawthorn skipper puts it into the player and out of bounds on the scoreboard side of the ground.
Lou, I can't believe how badly Victoria are playing. It's unreal.
Actually, that's not quite fair, because I'd say that you should say you can't believe just how well Western Australia are playing, because it's not the fault of Victoria, it's the fault of Western Australia.
And there's Thompson coming off the ground for a spell, and Pickens going on.
Yeah, good comments, Lou, good comments.
Because this Western Australian side is playing like a side possessed at the moment. And they've, as I said before, they're just taking tremendous chance. They're coming off. This is the sign of confidence. And every time that the Victorian boys touch the ball, look, there's an incident now. They just make mistakes left and right. There's a very lucky free kick that coming up to Victoria.
It's like a free kick going the way of Barker, the fullback, and a 15-metre penalty. Barker, off he goes. Not a particularly good kick. Thump to the ground, a chance there for Reid. He's not having the best of days, but that man is Flower. Look at the pace of him too as he whips the ball up towards half forward. Chance once again for Victoria, but they're getting bundled out all over the place. Good kick from Wells, right up towards the full forward pocket, but a great thump by Joe McKay. Pounds the ball out of bounds and out of the reach of the hungry fingers of Moore.
The Perth defence has been magnificent today, hasn't it?
Yeah.
They've all backed each other up very well.
Yep, they sure have. I agree with that. Throw in. Chance for Magro. He can't burst his way through. Umpire has decided that he will bounce down deep in Victoria's attacking area, or it's a free kick to Bill Picken. Yes, it is. Number 8 in the screen.
Now, he's a centre half back. He could miss this without any worry at all.
Well, you put the mocker on them in the early game.
Well, I'm saying this now because most centre half backs are not great kicks for goal, are they?
No, I agree with you. Billy Picken coming in.
Listen to the crowd.
Crowd giving him the raspberry. That one is going to miss. You're right again.
Well done, Lou.
Thanks, Lou. We needed that. 22 minutes gone in the third quarter. Western Australia 15-9, 99. And Victoria move on to 3 goals, 6-24. Glendenning's kick, a beauty. Chance for Stephen Curtis. Courage personified. Out towards Morley, who has Featherby loose. That's the way the hand pass goes, and WA are off again.
Peter Featherby showing plenty of pace, puts a long kick towards the full forward line. Cable's there with Nankervis from the back. Chance for Knights. It's on the half back line. Knights going through there. Peter Knights carrying the ball through. He's on the half back line on the outer side. Not a good kick from Knights. And the ball's got still going on. Up towards the half forward line.
Hunter.
Great mark out there by Ken Hunter. Ken Hunter, the young half back. Runner up here for the Claremont Ferris and Best this year. Hasn't played a great deal of league games, but a very tigerish player, and a long kick towards the half forward line. Knights! Knights not paid. It looked as though it was a mark. And the umpire said no. And a throw it in that half forward flank on the outer side of the ground. 99-24. We're at the 22-minute mark in the third quarter. Sidebottom having a run on the ball now. Tries to force his way through. Max Richardson. And the umpire has picked a kick out of it. It's going on the far side of the ground there. Looks like Trevor Barker. Trevor Barker coming right across the ground now. Looking for a lead. There isn't many offering. Still running. Up towards the wing position. Looking for Flower. Probably Victoria's best player. In comes Alan Reid. Well done, Robert Flower. But he can't get away with it. Cable's there. Cable picks it up. Gives it over to Hunter. Over goes Cable. Hunter gets a kick to half forward.
Oh, that's a good mark to Young.
Yes, no, it's not paid to Young. It's been paid there to Bruce Dool, the ever reliable Dool. Gives it to Rawlings. Barry Rawlings at halfback. There's a little rover, kicks it up towards the half-forward line. Henry's underneath it, can't mark it. Oh, right through the centre came Curtis. He got plenty of carries, this young fellow. Gets a long kick towards the half-forward line, and WA in attack once more.
No mark taken there. Barker once more. Gee, he's played a great game in defence. Hand pass to Stephen Eck. Victoria trying hard to get themselves back in this game. Chance for Curtis once more. And a great mark to Stephen Curtis, playing well in the back pocket. Hand pass to Cable. Look at the hand pass from Glendinning to Cable. Cable back to Glendinning. And Glendinning's kick is right up to the edge of the square. A chance there for Alexander. Went begging. Running through there was Jim Sewell. Looks as though he interfered with Barker though, and Barker right in the last line of defence for Victoria to take the free kick. Nowhere to go at all. Finally gets a hand pass across to John Byrne.
He can't come through the points, John. He must kick it out the other side.
I was about to say the same thing, Bob. He can't come through the points.
Boy, isn't he?
Yeah, good player.
Apparently the local rule in Victoria can, but you can't do it here.
Okay, Barker's kick out towards the half-back line. Nearly a mark to Victoria, but they worked the ball well out of their defensive zone. Up towards half-back.
Don Scott hadn't seen
Scott
a great deal of him.
Into the centre of the ground. Up they go. Great thump out of defence. Chance once more for them. Looks like it's Wood trying to break his way through there. It was. Chance there for Wells. Wells left foot kick up towards a full forward area. Okay, in goes Schimmelbusch. Can he score for Victoria? He can and has. Straight through the centre. Fourth goal on the Victorian board. That takes WA 15-9-99, Victoria to 4 goals 6-30. We've been playing now, what, 26 minutes into the third quarter.
Well, it's been a long dry spell for the Victorian side. They've scored 1 goal 2 in this third term. Admittedly, they haven't had the advantage of the breeze, which has died.
Magro coming off, John.
Magro coming off, and he's certainly done a sterling job for the Western Australian side. We can't pick up, he's coming on. Bill Valli coming back on, and this has been the scene most of the day, with the Western Australians keeping the pressure on in their mobile division. And this, to my mind, is one of the major reasons why the Western Australian side are in front, and that is that the big men around the ground can take the marks and they're all mobile.
I think they've only got Balme and Campbell off, so they've only got one reserve to interchange there, and that'll be Valli as Alexander takes the kick in the centre. The big ruckman sends it to centre half forward. Chance for Valli, just come on the ground. Bill Valli trying to battle his way through. It's on the half-forward line for Western Australia. Good play there by John Byrne. Gets it over to Nan Curvis, but not much cooperation from the Vicks. And a bounce down between half-forward and full-forward for Western Australia. We're at the 25-minute mark in the third quarter. 99-30 is the score, and Victoria will have the breeze in the last quarter.
They're going to need it too, Bob, I'd suggest.
Trevor Barker battling there. And Trevor Barker is going to take his kick.
Bob, could I just ask you a question now? Is there an element of doubt that West Australia won't win this game by you West Australian commentators? Short of the goodness, you must be very confident.
Well,
now.
I don't think until that last siren sounds against Victorians, Lou, you never know. But there's a great mark from Tony Morley out on the far side of the ground. He's been a good winger. Captain of South Fremantle here in
Lou, you've got to forgive
Australia.
us. We're not very often in this position, and we probably can't believe it.
Well, that's why I think you should take a more aggressive attitude, because I reckon you've got us by the throat.
There's John Byrne taking the ball now, kicking it out wide towards the flank.
Right.
You're about 2 feet too high. Anyway, ball up towards left centre wing. Chance there for Victoria's Wood. He can't do anything constructive with the ball.
He's made 1,000 mistakes, that guy, and then he's a brilliant player.
Going to get a kick too. And a 15-metre penalty to boot.
Well, it's 69 points the difference, and I tell you what, I'd like to be sure winning Tats Lotto. There's another mistake by Victoria.
He was lucky to get away with that one too.
Should never got a free kick for that, because we're just about holding the ball, I'd say.
Yeah, high tackle, however, is the way the umpire has ruled, and once again we'll see Wood to take his kick.
And I reckon we'll kill him, West Australia. I'm not kidding. This Victorian mob's the worst, weakest mob I've ever met in my life.
How the worm can turn.
Words from turncoat Lou Richards. There's a new dance been invented. It's called the Lou Richards twist. Great mark to Monteath in the centre of the ground. Used his body brilliantly to get away from Dool. And he's had 15 kicks for the game thus far. Up towards the half-forward line, and Knights, superb. Right up the back of Garry Sidebottom.
Well, he hasn't touched the ball much, has he, really?
Peter Knights, no, he hasn't. Not a particularly good kick from him.
Got a shocking.
And Bill Valli, or bad mistake from Valli. The idea was right, but the execution was wrong. Ball up towards half-forward. Chance for Victoria now, but through comes Curtis with courage to Miller. Off go WA again. Out towards the danger wing as far as they're concerned. Robert Flower, superb play. Tries to get it back to Nan Curvis, but Reid, well done. Magnificent football, Reid. Across to Bruce Monteath, up towards full forward. A chance there for Graham Moss. The ball's still in play. What can Moss do with it?
Good thinking Graham Moss as he gave it straight out to George Young, who streamed down from the half-forward line. And Young's gone in short to Max Richardson. And Western Australia at the moment playing all over Victoria. And I agree with you, Lou. Victoria in a lot of trouble and can't win this game.
Of course they can't.
Max Richardson coming in for his 5th goal. Kick on the way. Goal umpire doesn't move. Straight through it goes. 16th goal on the board to WA. 30 minutes gone in the 3rd quarter. And a hopeless task for Victoria, John.
John McIntosh doesn't usually pick many winners, John. Let's see what he can do with this one.
Would you like me to go for WA today, Bob? I reckon they've got a fair chance.
Mad if you don't.
16-9 to 4 goals 6. It's the most pleasant scoreboard I've seen for many a year in the interstate football scene.
But this must be doing a great thing for football in Western Australia. Let's be honest about that.
There's been a lot of knockers to this game, Lou. They didn't want it to occur, but full marks to the promoters. They've certainly done a great job, and it'll do a great flip to football in WA. Those comments that we heard before from John McIntosh, former St Kilda star, who's played in quite a number of interstate games and know the pressure that goes on out there, but it's all WA at the moment. Dempsey's on the ball, but Alexander gets it out. Out it comes to the flank. Featherby had a great quarter this time, Peter Featherby. And Peter Featherby taking the kick now in the centre of the ground. A Sidebottom now having a run on the ball, and Sidebottom takes the mark. I don't know who's playing full forward at the moment. We'll pick him up in the moment. Sidebottom in the centre of the ground.
Looks like Graham Moss resting at full forward down there.
Run for the lead out to Morley. Also played a great game, Tony Morley. There's a short pass into the pocket to Jim Sewell. And there's the siren.
Bob, I noticed when Peter Knights went for that ball, he limped rather badly after he was chasing Morley, and I'd say that Knights is in a bit of a problem with a leg injury out there.
Well, let's see what can do with this kick here, right out on that far flank. It's plenty of air, right through the middle, I'd say. Great kick, right on the siren there, and that's another goal to WA. And Lou, you say Victoria can't come back?
No chance in the world, and you know, it's been a tremendous performance, and let's say, as we all know, it's a terribly one-sided game, but yet it's very entertaining because the way that Western Australia's played this match, and they've really attacked the ball, they've played in front, and Victoria have been terribly hesitant in their attitude towards the game, and they've made mistake after mistake. And of course Barassi would be terribly broken-hearted about this because he loves to be a winner, and today he's taking a back seat.
Yes, Lee, that was Jim Sewell, as you saw on the screen, who kicked that great goal. And now we'll have a quick sum up for the good players from WA from John McIntosh, and the good players, if we can find any, from Victoria from Lou Richards. John
Well, there's been many fine players on the Western Australia side, of course. I'd just like to make mention, Bob, before we...
Ready to start the final quarter of the State of Origin match at Subiaco Oval. WA 79-111, and a great scoreboard for Western Australia, leading Victoria 4-6-30, and there goes a very elated Polly Farmer as umpire Ian Robinson, to the roar of about 30,000 fans here, sets the game in motion for the final quarter. Can Victoria come back? Dempsey gets the tap. Over it goes to Morley. Morley kicks it up towards a half-forward line for WA. In comes Dool. He's been a pretty good player. Picked up by Dempsey. Puts it down towards a half-forward line. In comes WA through Glendinning. Dashing Glendinning out towards the flank. Ooh, well done by Flower. Into the pocket it goes. A chance for Greg Wells. Wells under the boot towards full forward. Here's a chance for them. Peter Moore. I don't think he's kicked a goal today. Yes, he's kicked one. Peter Moore right in the square to take this kick. Peter Moore, the Collingwood and Victorian full forward in the opening seconds of this vital last quarter here in this interstate clash. Peter Moore, point blank range, right through the middle. And is that going to be the goal that can lift Victoria? John Mack.
Well, they certainly need something to lift them, Bob. They face a mammoth task to get back out of this predicament that they're in. Western Australia leads 17-9, you see on your screen. 17-9, 111 to Victoria, 5 goals 6, 36. And it's been all Western Australia for the first 3 quarters. In that third term, they kicked 8 goals straight with magical football by most of their players. They won in most positions. The big ruckman in Alexander took charge on the ball, and with the smaller players doing all things all around the ground, they took the game away.
Right, bounce down in the centre. Victoria into attack once more. Chimel there, number 20. But Reid is doing his best to get his side going. Good hand pass further afield to Worthington, who went straight through the centre. Up towards Max Richardson, who's kicked 4 goals for WA and been an absolutely superb player. He's in trouble now, though. I'd say he held Flower then, but it went unnoticed. Out to Magro came his hand pass. Magro's kick up towards half forward. Knights
He can't mark. Sidebottom playing well. Up towards full forward. Jim Sewell coming out. Ball on a string. Great hand pass back to Featherby. Featherby's left foot kick is rolling towards the goals. It'll be chopped off, however.
Don Scott.
Looks like Scott it was, number 2 for Victoria. His left foot kick is a beauty right in towards the centre half back position. David and Goliath. Number 21 for Victoria is Garry Dempsey. And number 9 has been Barry Campbell for WA, who's played an absolutely superb game. Flower, great player for Victoria. Good hand pass further afield. Off go Victoria again, up towards the full forward area. Glendinning and Moore. Glendinning to the ground. Moore following it up well, however. He's tapping the ball along in front of him. Can he score? Well tackled. Great tackle. Hand pass comes out to Worthington. And Western Australia out of trouble again. Ball in towards the centre. It'll either be Dempsey or Dool to mark. And it looks like it'll be Garry Dempsey to take the kick. Dempsey's kick, a beauty too, right up into the danger area for WA. McKay high, can't mark. But Western Australia's defence is absolutely superb. Hand pass, hand pass, hand pass, and Worthington takes the ball out of the danger area. Not a good kick, and it's been marked, or taken I should say, by Peter Knights and sent straight back from whence it just came.
Into the arms of Ross Glendinning, the fullback, and that's how Victoria are going at the moment. They can't pinpoint the ball. There's the fullback putting it into the centre. Looking for Monteath. In comes Rawlings. Here's a chance for Victoria. Michael Tuck. Poor old kick from Tuck. Under the boot. Underneath it is Ian Miller, who takes a mark, left fullback. Been a very solid player all day. All the back line have had. Put it out towards the flank to Moss. And a great mark, a great fighting mark out there to the skipper, who's played a great game for his side. Graham Moss. There's number 6 there coming in your screen. John Casson, the replacement for Bartlett. Coming on the ground as WA going forward again through Reid. Chance for John Byrne. It's on the half-forward flank. Oh, in the brick wall there. We've ran into, but well played there as they come forward again. The Vicks right in towards full forward. And 1 point the result. Well, Lou, they're playing with a bit more spirit, but you don't think they can improve on Big WA at all?
Well, there's not much chance unless they score 13 goals for the quarter. That looks like an impossibility, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, I don't think that they've got much chance
of course.
at the moment.
And they're starting to fade. They're getting tired. They're making mistakes, and they're all running into each other. And there's Knights jumping up in the air as if he doesn't know what it's all about. And that's unbelievable. This kid's played a marvellous game for Victoria.
Flower, never given up trying, superb player. It's no fault of his that Victoria have gone down today.
When you look through the Victorian side, you find 3 good players. That's Flower, Nankervis and possibly Barker. The rest have been very, very ordinary, and it's most un-Victorian, but still full marks to the West Australian side because they're attacking the ball. That's the name of the game, to play in front all the time. That's what they're doing.
They've played in front all day and they've had the just rewards. Hunter, very close that one between being out on the full and a mark, but the umpire has given it to Ken Hunter, number 20. He goes in short, the little chip one, not a particularly good kick. A chance there for number 19, Tuck for Victoria. He must have run his full measure. Ball in towards half forward. In went Wells, he can't mark. Western Australia through Moss. Hand pass to McKay, he's in trouble. But looks like McKay is going to be awarded a kick. Joe McKay getting up, limping a little bit from that encounter. There he is.
He was tripped, that's why he got one on the leg there, but Victorians are running into each other. See Bourne with that uncertainty about his play. Look at this now, West Australia full of confidence. Unbelievable. Really,
running all over the place they are at the moment. 1-2 players over there. Number 11 for WA is Bruce Monteath. Long hand pass to Tony Morley, who's been another good winger. And Morley putting the ball right up in towards the full forward area. Look at that. 2 Victorians go up. A chance there for Sewell, a charge straight through the 2 of them. But there's been an infringement. And it looks like Nankervis to take the resultant kick out to Dool. Dool further afield out to Don Scott. Scott with a big kick up towards right centre wing. No mark. Chance once more for Victoria. Through Casson. Casson's hand pass further afield wasn't a particularly good one, but Flower does it brilliantly over to Wells. Wells with a long kick. Moore should mark this one. Hasn't, but will score and does. Well played, Peter Moore. Great solo effort. That's about the first time, I think, Lou, that he's outpointed Glendinning in the man-to-man stuff. And that's his 3rd goal and one that he surely deserved.
Clem Denning's played a great game, but I think, in fairness to Moore, that the ball has been delivered pretty badly to him most of the day because of the mere fact that the Victorians just don't know where they're going in attack. And when you're just fine with the goals like they are, it makes it very, very hard for a fellow like Moore, who relies on the ball to be kicked high in the air so he can take the big spring at his opponent. But he's not doing it today, but that's a very handy goal. And you never know your luck in a big set. They could pick up another 12 goals and win this match, but all of a sudden.
Comments from Lou Richards at the 7-minute mark in the final quarter here at Subiaco Oval. Gary Dempsey in the ruck opposed to Moss. Dempsey using the frame well. Max Richardson trying to burst through. No kick. Picked up by John Byrne. A long kick towards full forward. Here's a chance for them. Peter Moore paid the mark.
Here it comes now. There could be 12 goals in a row here, Bob. I'm not kidding.
Well, Peter Moore using his height advantage there, and the Collingwood and Victorian full forward only 20 metres out, directly in front. The drop punt on its way, no mistake about this one. And there's the 7th goal on the board to Victoria, and 2 in 1 minute.
Well, Peter Moore certainly made the most of his few opportunities down there. Glendinning has been an absolute blockbuster at fullback. He's stopped everything. He's been an attacking fullback also. He's covered a lot of ground, used his anticipation and judgment. But Moore has broken through in this quarter in the first 8 minutes and kicked 3 goals. So Victoria's scoreboard starting to look a little bit more respectable, but certainly a long way from home.
Garry Sidebottom on the half-back line, I think, at the moment, as the ball's bounced in the centre. The away go the Vicks again through Rawlings. A high kick towards the half-forward line. Underneath this, Curtis can't mark it. Tuck run into trouble. Here's the WA backs. Trying to battle their throat. Ken Hunter on the half-back line. Gives it to Cable, and Hunter held without the ball, and he will take the kick. Ken Hunter, half-back flank.
Waiting on Hunter now, going to switch it straight across to the other side of the ground to Sidebottom, who should mark. Hand pass to Miller. Off go WA. Not a particularly good kick from Ian Miller. Flower able to take that one with a good hand pass to John Byrne. Byrne a long kick out towards the other side of the ground to Casson. Victoria looking particularly good at the moment. Shot towards goal is going to be out of bounds on the full. And one hopes for Western Australia's sake anyway that with that shot out of bounds that Victoria may lose a little of their momentum. Glendinning to take the kick into play. A good one. Look, there's 1, 2, 3 Western Australians over on their far side of the ground. And Alan Reid has taken the mark. Reid's kick up towards right centre wing. Well, left centre wing is not a good one. Francis Burke comes across for Victoria. Puts the ball straight back into the danger area for WA. Up they go. Moore can't mark. In there fighting desperately, the Victorian forwards trying to do something constructive with the ball. Curtis out to Miller. Miller further afield to Richardson, who's obviously having a run on the ball. Good kick up towards right centre wing looking for Moss. Moss from behind can't mark. He's in a 3-1 situation. Flower does it particularly well out towards Knights. Knights in trouble. Featherby's on the bottom of the pack being held. And Peter Featherby will take the kick and a 15-metre penalty and put this ball long and deep undoubtedly into Western Australia's forward line.
I'll tell you what's happened to Victoria here, that Dempsey going to that centre bounce has made a heck of a difference in the ruck.
A lot of height there,
Well,
Lou.
he's given a bit of momentum there, and that's what they've been lacking all day.
Right, ball up towards half forward. A chance for number 20, Ken Hunter. Gets a long hand pass further afield in the general direction of number 6 for Western Australia, who is Alexander. He can't do anything with it, but meantime interference has taken place. And who is it getting up very, very
Sewell,
slowly? Looks like Sewell to take the kick.
Joe
No,
McKay.
not Sewell. Joe McKay it is. Number 19 for WA, Joe McKay. Obviously maybe now
Worthington centre half back, I think, John. He couldn't be up in the forward line after that ankle injury.
Worthington centre half back. There's a shot of the bench. Guys not looking, or guys are looking very satisfied at the moment. Joe McKay on the way to take his kick. It's high. It's plenty of distance, but no accuracy. 1 point only. So WA moved to 17 goals, 10. Victoria 7-7. 10 minutes gone in the final quarter.
There's a kick in from Trevor Barker, the fullback, straight down the centre. That's the only way Victoria go. And a good mark out there to Alexander in front of Dempsey that time. And a 15-metre penalty. And this is where WA, with their height against the Victorians, has certainly paid dividends in this match. 45 metres out, directly in front. Alexander coming in there with a drop punt. It's a high one. It's a long one. It's a straight one. And the 18th goal to WA.
Well, that's the one Western Australia wanted to see to lift them in this last quarter. A good goal to Alexander, and he certainly has been a great player for the Western Australian side. I think one of the main differences between the two sides in the mobile division is that Graham Moss and Alexander have done a lot of work around the ground by comparison with their counterparts. And in addition, they've had good ruck rovers in Monteath and Richardson, good rovers in Campbell and Magro, and they've taken all before them, the mobile division.
Well, 118 plays 49. Western Australia in front. Campbell, brilliant hand pass. Goes in and does it himself when Reid couldn't take it. Superb play, Barry Campbell, right up to full forward. And there it is. That's the way you play football. Great football from Barry Campbell. Superb play. And Graham Moss, number 25, able to take a relatively easy mark. And Barry Campbell explaining what he did to Garry Sidebottom. And what a superb player he's been today. Well, Graham Moss from almost point-blank range, 15 metres out, almost directly in front. Is this WA's 19th goal on the board? The crowd erupts. It is. And I think, Lou, that the Victorian run that they got early in this quarter has come to a grinding halt.
That's right. It's a spent force now. And, of course, they're... I think John McIntosh summed it up as the ruck division you've had. We've had a bit of a lift in this quarter with Dempsey going on the board. It's been short-lived. He's out of business now. Alexander and Moss and Balme, when they were on the ball, they just completely eclipsed the Victorian bigger men, and plus the mere fact you've had ruck rovers very successful, and Barry Campbell, of course, has put up a tremendous performance. He's been a real star, and so full of constructive football. It is really unbelievable. At his age of 34 years of age.
I don't think they've got a weakness out there, Lou.
No, they have not.
There's the kick from Monteath up towards the half-forward line. Chance for Morley. It comes out with it. Victoria getting it away through Nankervis up towards the centre of the ground. Dempsey can't mark it. Chimel Bush, Bill Picken. Here's the lead over the Rollings. He's at half-forward. He's got the lead further afield, and that's the way it goes. And a little bit of running by Casson. Over towards Picken. Picken through the goals, and there's full points to Victoria, and a good passage of play by the Bigs.
I suppose this is the best quarter that Victoria's put up for the whole match, and they've been pretty pathetic, but now they've had a bit of system about their play, but there's no, even then there wasn't much confidence in that play. Even that hand pass coming over to Picken wasn't a very confident hand pass, really, was it?
Yeah, I agree with you, but it was still, as you said, one of the most constructive.
Yes.
A little more Victorian, one of the most constructive things they've done for the game thus far. Well, 126 playing 54.
Well, this must be a very happy day in Perth, actually, for everybody.
Well, I think all West Australians will be very pleased. I think it's given a great lift to football, and thanks to the Victorians, but all WA supporters would be certainly pleased with this one. Stephen Curtis at half-back. He's made a mistake. He's let Rollings in. You can't afford to do that. And there's the foot pass to Peter Moore, all on his own. And you can't make a mistake when those fellows running down the ground as they were then. And Peter Moore, only about 15 metres out again. He's already scored 4. Glendinning's played a good game on him, but now he's scored 5, or has he? No, he's missed. Well, that's the way they're going. When you're going bad, you certainly are, and Peter Moore just misses that goal from 15 metres out directly in front.
Well, I had that one written down, Bob, and now I'm going to have to scratch it out. I felt sure that would be his 5th goal, but it wasn't.
Has a man on the phone there.
Well, actually, that's not a bad performance by Peter Moore to kick 4 goals, and the side's been pretty pathetic, and their attacking attitude has been terrible, and yet he's kicked 4 goals and could have easily kicked 7.
It's been a great effort. Look at that kick in from Glendinning. McKay in the van, can't mark. Chance there for Monteath. Pushing along in front of him, waiting for a kick, and holding the ball is the decision against Monteath. And it will be Barker to take the kick. Well, he's a long way down from full-back. Barker on left half forward flank, good kick too, right up into the full forward area, looking for more, but from behind it was Moss. Glendinning is there. Hand pass comes out to Miller. He's got all the time in the world and all the options in the world as he gives it out to Max Richardson. Richardson, plenty of time to steady, kick. Not a particularly good kick, but has the desired effect to Magro. Back to Richardson is good football. And it's Victoria who is stopping Richardson with a great, superb kick. Magnificent play, Max Richardson. What a superb game. That's his 6th goal and a really magnificent solo effort. All the players gathering around him. Stan Magro saying well done, and Richardson absolutely exhausted, and Lou, a superb passage of play.
Well, that's his teammate and his captain too, and I should imagine they'd be very happy about that. There's nothing better to work with your teammate like that, and Magro actually anticipated that move of Richardson coming, but it knocked Max about a bit. I think he's a bit tired after that long run.
He would be. He's played a great game, but that started from the full-back position.
That's
from a hand pass from Ian Miller to Max Richardson, taken right up the ground. Great play, WA. And Chimel Bush coming in. Is he going to take the kick? No, Michael Tuck, the ruck rover, hasn't seen a great deal of this player. He gives it further. Dempsey, look at that tackle from Campbell. Oh, what a tackle, and that's the way WA have tackled all day. The smallest on the ground, bringing one of the biggest down, and that's the determination in the WA side. There's a hand pass to Monteath. It's a kick up towards half forward for Western Australia. Behind there was Picken, couldn't mark it. Michael Tuck's there, through comes Morley. He's got the lead further afield to Magro. Stanley Magro coming back onto the ground now. He's at half forward, about 45 metres out. He's got plenty of leads, but they're steadying things down, WA. At the 17-minute mark in the final quarter, as the WA Rover has a kick. It's not a good one. It's offline for sure. Out of bounds on the full.
Well, you couldn't believe that scoreboard. 20 goals, 10, 130 to 8 goals, 856 Victoria against Western Australia.
They're going to frame it, Lou, and keep it up there.
Well, they should. It's been a tremendous effort by them, and I think the crowd are really loving this game. There's no doubt about the response from the crowd. Look at this football.
They'll never take it down. Featherby with the ball. Scrambles his kick up towards full forward. Icker's in the van, but the ball's over his head. Picking there. Whoops. Goodbye, head.
That's Trevor Barker.
Trevor Barker, you're right.
Beautiful
Barker,
player.
number 3, yeah, played superbly. He was a long way down a little while ago. Featherby up, can't mark. Well read by Rawlings, however. Rawlings kick up towards half forward. A chance there for Wells. He can't mark. Through comes Miller. Hand pass. Western Australia backing up brilliantly as Worthington gets his kick. Not a good one. And Knights is able to mark. Flower with pace. Look at him go. Tremendous play, Robert Flower. And a beautiful pass straight down the throat of Bill Picken. And that was superb play.
Yes, Flower would be a mile in front as Vic's best player.
Oh, yeah. So far in front, he's lonely. Picken shot. In towards full forward. Is it a goal? 1 point only and nothing going right for Victoria. And the pressure, John, that Western Australia have put on the Victorian side is certainly told.
Yes, I was going to ask Lou Richards that, we've seen we hear about this pressure in Victorian football, but certainly there's been a lot of pressure out there today, Lou.
That's right, John. I think you'd know a bit about it too. You played there for some time in Victoria. You know what the pressure you're talking about. And of course, these fellas from the Western Australia side that have played in Victoria certainly applying that. But let's say this about the boys that play here on a regular basis are doing a tremendous job too. That's most important.
That's right. 18 players playing as a team, Lou, and you'll beat any individuals anytime, as you know. There's the throw-in in front of the members stand here in this final quarter, the 18-minute mark for the State of Origin match. The first one, I'm sure it won't be the last. Alexander versus Dempsey. Dempsey, the 75 Brownlow medalist, had a hard job out there today. Michael Tuck trying to take it away. John Byrne over the centre to Rowling, still showing pace. Puts it towards a half-forward line. Here's a chance for them. In comes Casson, but he can't handle it. Curtis can. So can Magro. Magro lucky to get out of the way, hell without it, and Stan Magro on the half-back flank to take his kick. Magro, short pass to Curtis. Curtis to Joe McKay. He's at centre half, back to drop kick. They're gaining confidence now. Sidebottom, with him is Knights. Thumped on by Sidebottom towards Cable. Cable's at half forward. Look at that superb play by Cable. Gets it back over the plaudits to the crowd. Alan Reid takes it, the crowd rise and applaud it. As Jim Sewell takes it, into the pocket it goes. Spoilt in the last line of the fence. A great piece of play there, starting from Cable, and that's the way the WA players have been playing all day. Cable superb, one to the other in those gold and black Guernseys. The kick in comes now, right down the centre of the ground and into the arms. No, the kick. Alexander takes it. Yes, it's play on. Featherby, shot pass further afield. WA players on their own at the moment. And there's a kick now, only about, 35 metres out, John, by Bruce Monteath.
Monteath to take it, and I can't believe the way Barry Cable's played. We haven't seen him here for so long, and he looks as good as the day he left, and we'll take him back any time Victoria want to let him come. Monteith's kick on its way, straight through the centre it goes. 21st goal on the board to WA. 21 goals, 11, 137 to Victoria's 8-9, 57, and we've been playing 20 minutes into the final quarter.
Well, we're expecting some sort of Victorian revival in this last term. They opened up very, very well, kicking 4 goals. Western Australia have gradually pegged them back and added for themselves with good play around the centre of the ground and more steadiness in attack. And on that occasion, Monteath left alone to kick the easiest of goals.
Yes, we're at the 20-minute mark. 29 goals scored here this afternoon, and 21 of them by Western Australia. An infringement at the centre bounce. Everything going WA's way at the moment, including a 15-metre penalty. And Roland Alexander to take the kick. There's the big Ruckman. Puts it out towards the far side of the ground. Bruce Dool is there underneath, but it's thumped away, taken by Cable. He's in plenty of trouble. 3 or 4 Victorians out there and holding the ball. And Curvis kicks it out towards Rawlings. He's underneath the scoreboard. Rawlings gone for the short pass further afield. John Byrne taking it up towards Wells. He can't handle it, but he picks it up on the half-forward line. Back to Byrne. Byrne in towards Casson. He's at half-forward, but he's taken the ball over the line. And Victoria certainly not handling the ball well at the 21-minute mark in the final quarter.
137 playing 57. There's a shot of Casson. Throw-in to take place. Stan Magro coming off the ground to the plaudits of the crowd. I don't think it would matter who came off at the moment. They'd get a cheer from this very parochial and very thrilled West Australian crowd. Ron Alexander to take the kick in the left fullback pocket for WA. Been a fine player too. There's his kick up towards George Young. Been a little quiet, Young, but has chipped in with a goal when it mattered. That one by Scott, hooked back towards half forward. Up they go, it's all Western Australia. Max Richardson waiting down for it. Little pop pass into the centre. Hand pass further afield to Morley. WA off and running. Over towards Hunter. He has the ball. Sidestepping cleverly. Little pop pass over towards Valli, who's on the ground. Valli with plenty of distance in the kick. Cable lurking dangerously up there. Able to read it well is Monteath. Hooks towards full forward. That kicks a little offline. And 1 point only. So WA moved to 21 goals 12, 138. Victoria remain on 8-9-57. We've now been playing 23 minutes into the final quarter. Barker's kick into play is a beauty.
Oh.
Knights! Oh, Peter Knights.
Today, John.
That's vintage Knights, I'd say, Lou.
Well, that was a great mark, but I tell you what, it's been a long time between drinks for him today,
yeah.
Quite seriously.
Yeah, that's for sure, but that was a superb mark. Up towards half forward. McKay is there, but is interfering with number 8 for Victoria, Billy Picken. And Bill Picken will take the kick. No, it's not. It's going to be Schimmelbusch to take it. Wayne Schimmelbusch just forward of left centre wing. Good kick too, high, looking for Moore, but great use of the body by Glendinning. Keeps Moore out. Worthington took the ball, a hand pass out to Morley. Worthington in a bit of trouble. Hunter takes it on right centre wing, or just backward of it. And Western Australia defence reigning supreme once more. Kick up towards half forward towards Sewell. He can't take it, in he goes again. Players going down everywhere. Great tackle put on Tuck. Victoria just unable to get any sort of system into their play. Well done, Jim Sewell. Whoa! Tackled nice and high on that occasion by Wood. But it doesn't matter because Graham Moss has marked the ball and Western Australia going into attack again.
Sees the lead over towards Sidebottom. He's at centre half forward. It's not a good kick. Stephen Nick's there with him. Stephen Nick and Sidebottom. Stephen Nick in front. Goes for the short pass out to Casson. 2-1 out here. He's got the lead over to Wells. Wells at centre, right half forward flank into Sheedy. Haven't seen much of this player. Kevin Sheedy coming in now to have a kick. Puts it right across to the ground of Peter Moore. Over the half forward flank. Well played, Peter Moore. Can he pick it up? He does so. Running in to have a shot. It's a shocking kick from Moore and over the line and out of play. Good ground play from the big fellow there. Got right down from that 6'5" frame, but he couldn't convert, and only the minor score.
Shows he's a class player, Bob, the way he was able to control that ball.
Very quick for a big fellow, isn't he?
Very quick, Lou.
Yes, he's a good player.
There's a great mark to Moss from the kick in.
By golly, he's played a very effective game too, hasn't he?
Been good.
I'm looking for a passenger out there, Lou, in the WA
well,
side.
I can't find one, Bob. I'm not kidding. It's been an unbelievable effort by every player on the side.
Yep, they've sure played well. Into the centre to Featherby, who's played strongly. They've got a loose man set up now as Morley takes off. Morley's kick to Cable is a beauty. Cable in trouble. Don't see him fumble like that very often. But of course you could forgive him for the way he's played today. Knights going through with desperation. Great play, Peter Knights. Good hand pass to Rawlings. Off to Flower with pace to Burn. Flower, beautiful kick up towards full forward. Chance there for Moore, but thumped away by Glendinning. Sewell takes it. Left foot kick to Miller. And WA out of trouble again because they've got loose players all over the place. McKay back to Moss. Is great play. Setting up the loose man everywhere. Moss to Reid, or George Young it is playing on the wing. Young's left foot kick is a beauty. Right up towards full forward to Worthington.
Tramp, I think.
Who's in a lot of trouble, Kevin Worthington, at the moment. And the throw-in to take place. Wouldn't be surprised to see Kev Worthington come off and have a bit of a breather.
They've got too many left to put on, John, at the moment.
That's right. Well, we're approaching the time-on period in the final quarter. WA at 21-12, 138. Victoria at 8-9, 57.
And that free kick going to Victoria from that ruck infringement up there.
No way Max Richardson's going to pick it up, and I don't blame him.
Some tired players out there, but of course with WA so far in front, you don't feel the tiredness when you're in front. There's Don Scott, the vice-captain, Hasn't been into the great deal. Kicks towards the centre. Chance for Picken it was. Oof. Into the centre it goes. And there it goes right down the centre there.
Wood.
Brian Wood it was. Thumped away there. Onto the far flank towards Moss. Moss taps it further afield. Moss on the half back flank. Moss still gets around his opponent.
He ran away from Sheedy then, isn't that amazing?
Great determination, Moss. Gets it up towards the half-forward line. Bruce Monteath, been a good player. There goes a hand pass to Sidebottom. Sidebottom's claimed. And a good tackle there by Rawlings. Out it comes to the flank. Back to Monteath. He's in the pocket. Bruce Monteath, right forward pocket. Not a good hand pass. In comes Sidebottom using the body. Play on, says the umpire. A shot from Alexander with his left foot. Well, that's how WA are going. A left foot shot by Alexander and through for full points.
That's his third for the game too, Bob.
And he certainly put in a fine performance, as have the other 20-odd players on this game, on the ground for Western Australia. And a fitting result that Alexander should put that one through at the end. 22 goals, 12, 144 to Victoria, 8 goals, 9. We shouldn't keep repeating the score because it's very, very one-sided indeed at this present stage. But full marks to Western Australia.
It's got to be about the greatest hiding Victorians probably ever had. There's a hand pass, not a good one. McKay takes the ball out towards the wing. George Young is playing there now because Flower's been such a dominant player. Sheedy crawling along the ground trying to get a kick but can't. Peter Featherby, who's been a fine player in the centre for WA. They've set up the loose man. Little kick to Morley, number 7. Hand pass further afield to Valli. WA players doing with ease at the moment, and Valli's kick superb to Reid, who's been shifted down to play probably either on the half-forward flank or in the forward pocket. And Alan Reid had to lower his colours to Robert Flower today because Flower's been an absolutely superb player for Victoria. But Reid has still nevertheless won his fair share of kicks and is coming in with a chance to put Western Australia's 23rd goal on the board. There it goes, kick on the way, goal umpire behind it. Straight through the centre it goes. 23 goals on the board, and Lou the Rot continues.
Well, I think that you fellas can be a bit confident now because I think at one stage you were a bit doubtful whether they were going to win or not. But now, with time running out, we've got about 3 minutes to go, I'd say, and now you can say with full confidence you'll win the game. I think I predicted this about 20 minutes into the second quarter.
Yes, you did.
You'd see the writing on the wall. And,
yeah, you're a good judge, Lou.
I'm not a great judge. I just know that a bit about football. I don't know.
What are you trying to say? We don't.
No, I'm not saying that. I think it must be that you should be a little bit more confident about your side sometimes when they're playing so well.
Yes, I agree, Lou. We're not used to winning that much over
Well,
here,
it doesn't matter. It may change now completely.
WA have 11 goal scorers today, so that's, you'll see that 11 players have...
Well, that's great teamwork, isn't it,
yes.
Bob?
There
Good.
It goes towards the half-back line, picked up by Miller. The backs have played a great game down there. Out to the flank, in trouble. Back to Ian Miller. He's at half-back. Over towards the far side of the ground, and WA doing as they like at the moment. A good pass into the centre to Moss. Moss still got legs. There's his kick towards the half-forward line. Monteath, he's still running. About 40 metres out from goal. Screws it back. It's a good screw kick, a beautiful kick. But it's through only for the minor score. Well, the crowd were riding that one. A great effort there by Bruce Monteath. Couldn't quite make the major opening and the minor score only.
I'll tell you what, Bob, the crowd won't give up every time they have a shot for goal. They're really rubbing into Victoria. It's a terrible feeling to be up here and being a Victorian and to be so embarrassed about this.
Well, as you said, it's a long while between drinks for Peter Knights, right. Who just took a good mark. It's been a long time between drinks for us too, I'll tell you. Oh, Rich,
great mark, but it's paid the other way.
Great mark to Curtis, but he's not being paid it because he was holding onto the arm of Barry Rawlings and Rawlings to take his kick. A left foot one, not a particularly good one, but has the desired result as it falls into the arms of Bill Picken. And Picken would be about 45 to 50 metres out from goal, kicking with the breeze. Will he bring up Victoria's 9th goal? Picken coming in, torpedo punt kick. You could see the way he dropped that one on his foot. He wouldn't, and in fact has not even registered a score. And I don't think I've seen Victorian sides kicking the ball out of bounds as often as what they are today.
Well, that's the lack of confidence, isn't it?
Sure is.
Once you start thinking negative, which they've done, I think, from about the start of the game, actually, haven't they?
Yep. I think they were behind the 8 ball when they didn't score in that first quarter.
Right.
That must have really jolted their confidence.
It did.
Good kick in from Glendinning. Chance for Moss. In between two big fellas in Picken and Scott. And Moss held the ball long enough, in the opinion of the umpire, to be awarded the mark.
Well, Scott's been down on form today, hasn't he? Really bad.
Very down.
Well, I'd hate to be picking the best players out there, John, at the moment, because there's been a lot of one, particularly on the side of the WA players. Featherby! Featherby had his name written all over that one. You saw him rise above those players there and take a well-judged mark. Well, all the players are gaining confidence on the WA side. Ken Hunter takes that one on the right centre wing. Ken Hunter, the young player for Western Australia, kicking towards the far flank. Very close to the line out there, and it's out of play. Throw in right half forward flank for Western Australia. No, it's play on. Bruce Dool taking it. There's the flying doormat, kicks it towards Rawlings, and he takes the mark.
This quarter could go for 2.5 hours if you keep on winning. It might take a, I think you'd enjoy it very much, wouldn't you?
There's a great knock by McKay, and that's how WA are playing. If you can't mark it, thump it. As I said, Lou, the scoreboard will probably remain up there for 1 week. If you come here next Saturday, it'll probably be still there.
I don't care if we stay here till midnight, quite frankly. 151 playing 57, 33 minutes gone in the final quarter. Graham Moss going as hard as ever. Hand pass is not a good one, but Scott is in all trouble around the world. Stephen Curtis straight through. Hand pass to Bill Valli. Valli to Sidebottom. Sidebottom further afield to a teammate, Jim Sewell, who erred on that occasion. Allowed tuck in. Siren is gone. There goes the siren. Western Australia have won, and won brilliantly. The final score, WA 23 goals 13, 151. Have defeated Victoria 8-9-57, and Bob, a superb exhibition of play.
Yes, a great exhibition. Look at that crowd going out there to the West Australian players. It's certainly, we've never seen this before, a score like that against Victoria. Great credit to the 21 players who played for Western Australia, and Polly Farmer, who was probably coaching his last side in WA, we don't know, but congratulations to the whole of them. To sum up the game, John McIntosh and Lou Richards.
Well, certainly a great game of football here at Subiaco Oval. Western Australia leading from the bounce, kicking 6 goals 5 in a brilliant first quarter and leaving Victoria scoreless. A long time since we've seen a Victorian side not kick a score in a quarter. Western Australia had good control on the ball with Monteath, probably the main kick getter on the ground. He and Richardson on the half-forward line were in dazzling form, as was Cable, and the big men of the Western Australian side in Moss, Monteath and Dool, the